So, welcome back to Unity, everyone. When we last left off, the party had just delved deep into the dark prison after being led by Barbario and Luigi. Here, after traveling through various traps and battles, Micah leading through, finding out the traps very similar to their childhood belief system and how they were trained from their grandfather, make their way down and finally emerge in the dungeon. There, the voice of Dagger, Micah's grandfather, is heard out throughout them the mocking tones of voice. Micah finally meets their biological father, and after what seems to be a tense conversation where I'm pretty sure the party wasn't sure if Micah was just going to stab him in the throat and be done with it, the party did battle with Dagger. A harrowing fight, taking a long time. The party was finally able to once and for all defeat Dagger. Micah driving through their psychic dagger through Dagger's. Boy, you just realized the problem with that name.
Real.
Grandfather's throat. Watching the life leave his eyes, him with a small, odd smile on his face as he passes from this world to the next. The group now lies in the prison. Lom, still in the cell to the north, and the rest of the party, battered, beaten, and bruised, but alive. As you guys gather yourselves up and look about. Well, that was a lot, Lyamora says, rubbing her arms and chest and head and basically her entire body.
Honestly, that was actually one of our better fights, to be honest.
My God, how are you people still alive?
Oh, no, wait. I know a couple of us died already, don't worry.
I'm inclined to disagree.
Jericho will dust off his shoulders at Leomora saying that and just points at himself. And then starts limping in the direction of Gwen to help her.
You help Gwendolyn get back to her feet.
Mm-hmm.
I will also aid in the help. Well, I'm pretty sure.
Your firm
Does anyone need a potion?
Fine. Thank you.
You're
You too.
evidently not, but unless
Potions-wise, I don't need that. I'll just use magic.
Don't need to waste that. I got you. And I'll put
No,
30.
it's fine. She'll cast Mass Cure.
Oh, okay.
Did it cast? Or did it not cast?
Now to just select the level you cast it at.
it's because
Is it?
There we go.
There you go.
The 20 HP to... Does that get everybody?
Everyone. Besides... she'll do Canyon, because... not Canyon, because she's probably the healthiest.
Probably has their second wind still available as well.
Yeah.
Or did you use that? I cannot remember.
You're.
Sure.
Does it? Did I actually click on it?
No, yeah, you used it. It's gone.
I'm fine.
I mean, you're also got the most hit points in the party. 20 HP for
Do
you.
I above Uvek?
Easy.
I think. Oh yeah, okay. You're a little under Uvek. Yeah, you're.
I rolled shit my past two.
That's
levels.
yeah. It's the you're rolling. Gotcha.
That's why you always just take the average, so you're never disappointed.
I was beating you 2 levels ago.
I
will
look
beat
at you
again
now.
eventually.
bodybuilders trying to outflex the other.
In any case, thank you for that, Gwendolyn. But what now?
Well, other than getting out of here. I think and he just stretches and it gives a sickening crunch where a pop might have been more appropriate, and he sucks in a breath. I think I would much rather do my thinking in another place. How about the rest of you? A place that doesn't smell like corpses.
Would be a nice change of pace.
The bedrooms better.
Oh, and we probably want to address the people that were suspended. Where's Mike go? Oh gosh, I forgot.
I was about to say, I would have laughed my ass off if Jericho left, leaving the dad behind.
He's too busy. He's too busy trying to identify the floating rib in his chest. Okay.
Did I break that, or was that just placed inside?
I was just waiting for the party to leave.
No, I would never.
Mike,
I'm still
would
here.
have considered it, possibly. But while Jericho is talking, just slowly, you hear the clack, 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 slowly going to the distance, and then, oh, right, he's still in here. And we'll fiddle with the lock to get him out.
You know, for the simplicity's sake, you would have known your grandfather probably had the keys on him, but if you want to pick the lock, you can go ahead.
Oh, well, Micah sees him's body before, so...
Yeah, it's like, you searched the body earlier, so you would have found the keys to
Micah
the
gets
cell.
first dibs
Yeah.
on the looting.
Yep.
My
The
God,
grandfather.
thirsty.
Which is great, since that means you get nothing. You guys get nothing!
Yeah, all Micah is looking for, I guess, first thing is, the key, and then also, as I mentioned before, something that shows us proof that they did the final blow.
Well, I mean, out of things that you would easily get, his short swords would be something like they're very... his short swords, like, or his dagger short swords, are something you definitely would be able to take.
Okay.
Because they are unique in the sense that they are built basically like the Guildmaster's blades.
Mm-hmm.
But for the sake of this, they're +2 short swords.
Oh, fun.
Or it's a +2 short sword, I should say.
And that's it. But, okay, so +2 short swords will release the papa.
He also has on him, just because you are looking,
Mhm.
a set of bracers of defense.
Hold on. This is too much for my brain. I gotta write it down. Okay. Give me a sec. So, +2 short swords. What was the next thing?
Bracers of defense.
Bracers of defense. Okay.
And finally, his cloak is a cloak of protection.
Cloak. Action. I'm assuming the other 2 items just bring up AC or something?
Bracers of defense is if you have no armor or shield to give you a +2 to your AC. Mostly
Okay.
useful for things like barbarians and monks,
Mm-hmm.
since most casters have some sort of armor or mage armor. And
Mhm.
finally, Cloak of Protection is a +1 to your AC and all saving throws.
Okay.
So, that's what made Grandpa so tough to hit. He had a 23 AC with those 2 things on.
Micah will look at the cloak for a moment, and then look at the one that they already have on. Scans the room for the swishiest person, or at least one that gets targeted often, staring at Gwendolyn, staring at Jericho. Do either of you 2 need this?
Gwendolyn already has a ring of protection.
Okay.
So.
Not double up.
Where in...
Not double up.
Just
Generally I don't, like, because they're the same enchantment, just on a different item slot, I don't allow that to double up.
But 2 cloaks of protection on at the same time.
Double cloak.
One
say
facing
one.
forwards, one facing backwards.
So, poncho of protection?
Yeah.
Poncho of protection.
What does Micah have? I'm sorry.
Cloak protection.
Cloak protection. So they're asking. I guess also look at Estri. I'm not sure how bad Estri's AC is, but
Yeah, Estri's got a pretty good AC. Because they got such a
Okay.
crazy dex modifier.
then.
Plus,
in
I
that
think they're
case-
attuned out.
Okay.
I think the tanks need more AC. You know, just saying. I'm
Just a
kidding.
little bit.
Don't give it to us. Do not give it to us.
Don't
have
think
one.
I need another cloak, but I see the utility of having this one.
You could fold it up and make it into a sash.
Just ties around his mouth, make it an Asgard of protection. Or Asgard of protection.
You could also, depending on how big the cloak is, you could just tie it around your waist and just make it like, just have a billowing lower cloak or something.
Regardless, you guys have a cloak of protection, and the braces of defense, unfortunately, will do no one in this party any good because everybody wears armor.
We'll
I
keep
think
them
I've got
on.
an idea. I'll take the cloak unless Gwendolyn.
I don't need it. It's fine.
All right, if you insist. And Jericho will go ahead and start taking off his existing. Well, it's not really, frankly, even a cloak. It's more of a poncho, almost.
There we go.
It's season 2. Gotta upgrade. the
True.
outfits.
That's literally what was going through my brain. Is just like, no, but my character identity. And then I remembered like how literally Critical Role will change their characters' commissions with like different phases of their campaign. It's just like this is all a product of Big Zaku trying to get more money out of me. Clearly.
Okay, so those are your guys' items you got off Grandpa's corpse. Past that, you just got mundane stuff. The key, you would have found he had like some climbing equipment on him.
Equipment.
You know,
Grappling hook?
backpack, crowbar. Basically, he just had the adventurer starting kit you guys have, so you would have nothing. He would have nothing you guys don't already have on you.
Kind of sad
Well,
he
it's
didn't
always
hit
helps
upside
to
the
have
head
extra.
with that.
Okay. I mean, the extra rope. It's
Yep,
always
there's
good.
rope on him. A water skin. Untouched rations, since he's at a level where monks don't need to eat anymore.
Mhm. Damn monk.
Why did he even carry them?
No, he doesn't need to eat. Doesn't mean he doesn't enjoy the pleasure. He likes to masticate. He masticates with himself all the time.
I love masticating so
I-
much.
I don't.
Ooh, masticating is a chore.
Anyways, back to
Never.
the game.
It's only better if you have another person with you.
And it's not masticating.
You can group masticate. Just ask birds. Hemlock probably masticates all the time.
We are just immature children, aren't we?
We're D&D players, Andy. That kind of goes hand in hand.
Right.
Any
My
case.
thought is unlocking Papa from the cage, and we'll take a step back.
As you do so, Lom will... But he is battered and beaten. He's not looking great, but he is able to stand up and walk and exit the cage. Is it over then?
We'll give
In
him
fact,
a
we'll just
quick-
kick. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's all good. Just give him a quick over. He's dead. And we'll just start walking off.
I was just gonna kick the corpse just real quick, just to make sure.
As you kick the corpse, it grabs you by the ankle.
All right, time to.
As he
There's
hits
Mark
his second
Moore here.
form, and he just turns into an abomination. Now, how fucked up would that be?
I would cry.
Oh no, he's turning himself into a Dark Souls boss, guys. Watch out.
Yeah, not that cruel. I'll save that for later. Micah walks away. Lom, Jericho, as you look over, Lom looks over at you. I'm sorry, who are you?
Yeah, I feel like it's just like Jericho watches Micah walk away, and it's like they both look at each other from the side and like slightly turn.
Yeah.
He's just, well, I'm Jericho Hall, member of the Trail Mix group, including Micah, and just like points at them, and then brings it back to himself as just, you're Micah's parent?
Well, I guess the son would be biological father at this point. I obviously wasn't there to raise them.
Oh, that's sort of bad luck of the draw, as it were.
It is. Name is Law.
Lam, sort of like lamb, but long A?
It's an O, but yes, L-O-M, Law.
Oh, right. Well, pleasure to meet your acquaintance. I'm glad we were able to save you from whatever fate Grandpa had.
He kind of tilts his head when you say that. Wait, you're not related, are you?
Oh, right. No, I mean, as in the relation between.
Not his.
Yes.
Ah, you're not a couple, are you?
No.
Okay.
Just whips the
Couple
head around.
A couple of friends, yeah.
You just generally when you refer to someone as grandfather, there's some sort of relation besides friendship. Like,
You mean me and grandfather?
no, I'm. Wait, is that a complex for you?
No! See him. Pointing very aggressively at Uvek.
Uvek just like brushes by his like gray hair. I don't know. I'm starting to think he does actually have a soft spot for that.
They don't even know what that means.
I mean,
Micah's rubbing their temples.
he kind of looks over at you, Jericho. So a half orc thing of an older gentleman?
I just like him. He treats me well.
Uvek is
And
just
he's very
howling
attractive,
with laughter.
but that's unrelated.
Uvek's just howling the laughter.
Yes, in any case, sorry, I'm a little concussed. Maybe I'm just not understanding fully. My bad.
Do you require any aid?
I think I should be fine. He takes a step forward and just falls down. Or not.
Alright. Uvek will come by and he'll help him back to his feet and also give him some lay on hands.
Jericho will also help, and it's just, in that way, you are much like your child.
I'm glad to see at least something of me is with them.
Micah slowly turning their head and squinting at them both.
Jericho, just this once, looks straight back at Mike and is like, try to say I'm not right.
Squints harder because they can't.
And goes back
Transforms
to
their
smiling.
eyes just to have bigger eyes, that way they can squint more.
Right. Materializes more eyes. I will
Just
not move this.
Turns into they just
So
turn their
funny
head
for a
into one.
changeling to just like very slowly fuck with their own facial features when someone's staring them down. So it's like a blink and you miss it sort of deal.
They just turn into a beholder head, so it's just one big eye.
Let's see.
Thank you. I'm sorry. What was your name again?
Oh, Jericho.
Oh, thank you, Jericho. And you as well.
Oh, sorry. Uvek Palashaw. Pleasure to meet you. And Uvek's gonna offer her hands to shake.
Thank you, and he will shake your hand.
Sorry, sorry about the mess earlier. Hope I wasn't too. We don't tend to really fight in front of a crowd too often, so sorry about that.
He's just gonna tilt his head in confusion at that.
No, like he means like you don't really want to see people get killed in the front of you, you know? Just saying. It's like, sorry we kind of had to, kill somebody in front of you, even though,
Despite his stature, Uvek's quite the bit of a softie.
I see. Well, Uvek, as nice as the compliment your statement is, I really don't worry about that man dying in front of me. Or
Oh no, it's not about that. It's, the killing part in general.
well, I didn't see anything of that makes you feel better. I was in the cell.
Fair enough.
In fact, all I heard was a lot of screaming, and I wasn't sure who was winning at some points.
He did kind of break the grapple a few times. He was a slippery little bastard, wasn't he?
Yes, well, assassins and that. If you excuse me, I'd like to go see my child for a bit.
Of course.
That's a great. No. It's in front of him. You need to see to your lower body and the integrity of, frankly, the entire thing before you can do that. Again, let's get out of here. Shall we?
I already gave him some lay on hands. He should be enough to walk it for the time being. Them have their moment for just a little bit. We'll get out of here soon enough. Jericho.
Well, I can speak with them on the way out. It's rather deep down here, isn't it?
All right.
And besides, you aren't correct. We should leave this place as soon as possible. This is, after all, not our dimension, and as he says that, Jericho, just roll me a perception check.
Oh, you know me. Perceptive.
So
What's your mama told you?
So Jericho, as he says that, and you're kind of looking that direction, you kind of just see like this shell, or the cell, Jesus, this cell start to flicker.
Why is it doing that?
Doing what?
Flickering like a candle wick.
What? He's just looking back and is a little disturbed. Jericho, would you like to roll an Arcana?
Maybe I'm concussed, and he just squints harder.
Fantastic. You've seen this before.
Oh, excellent. Where?
When you fought something undead before who is a dark god person, and then the entire place blinked out of existence and nearly caught you all.
We should get out of here now! At this point, Jericho is just points at Uvek. It's just, carry him out of here. You! All of you! Now! Get out of here!
Over the shoulder, fireman style. Let's do this.
runs over to Gwyn, just pushes her towards Estri, looks at Estri, you're getting it done. Micah the Canyon. It's just, everybody, grab your buddies, we're getting out of here.
Originally, they were over there to sulk and stare at Peepaw's dead body with crossed arms and just hang out with the girls, and then suddenly someone has to start yelling that they have to start running, and squints further and then realizes, all right, this place is not safe.
This is the Shadowfell.
And if
I can bring the body. Like,
You guys
deserve it.
looking
You
at
can
Micah
stay here.
as they start to run. What?
You can stay here. He doesn't deserve it.
All right, everybody. Shadow fell. If we stay here, we're going to be shadow fallen. Let's go.
Oh wait, no. Hold on. Isn't it? The dudes that were like hanging from the hooks and shit.
So the dudes
They're-
hanging from the hooks and shit, those are the ones you killed.
Yeah. So, but they're here, quote unquote, alive.
Well, they're here in the Shadowfell where dead go. Like the Shadowfell is a type of
think of it as an
underworld, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so it wouldn't be a
afterlife.
problem then to leave Peepaw here.
I mean, it's possible Peepaw's spirit's already here.
He's
Or would
coming
it be a
back for round
problem?
2.
He died in game.
He died in game as he can die in real life.
So true.
As far as his corpse remaining, you're not sure what that would indicate leaving the corpse here. Probably nothing. That would require a check. To be certain, though.
Okay, bring his body. I don't know anything about this place.
Ubek is going to quickly eat the mushroom, and he's going to throw the corpse on his other shoulder then.
As Ubek gets twice the size for a minute, as he grabs both of them and starts bolting down. As you guys start running through the darkened prison, you see all about you. The walls start flickering more and more about, and you start hearing strange echoing sounds coming from about. And you look about and see almost shadows reaching out and flickering in between. I would like, as you guys run, everyone just to roll me we'll call it a wisdom saving throw.
Oh,
Mm.
no.
Me, the wise.
Well, everybody, thankfully, my aura is slightly bigger now, so stay close.
It's not even a check, so I
Oh.
can't use my
Oh.
fucking puzzle. We take these.
Shaking hands with Jericho.
Right.
And Leomora. And possibly Hemlock.
All the bitches that are generally understood to be smart characters. And, well, minus Gwen. Gwen fast with flying colors.
So, Gwen Canyon and Uvek all pass. Hemlock's dead, ain't he?
He
Oh,
did-
you're right. You are very correct.
You got
I
sent
saw
back
him on
to
the
shadow.
map.
Yeah, Hemlock got boofed. As for Micah, Jericho, and poor Liamora, you guys get a little bit of crazy. Oh, I guess I should actually roll for Alam because he's here. Ah, okay,
Crazy.
Daddy's fine.
Papa's A-okay.
He sure is.
As you guys hear the whispering things, you guys feel like your heads. You guys look about drastically in fears. There will be something that occurs later, but for now, you keep running. And as you get out there, I won't make it a massive spell check. You guys eventually run out of the thing and get out into the woods. As you do so, you look behind you as the building starts to vibrate and move, and you look over behind you as the prison you were in, poof, and vanishes out of existence before you. You will find yourselves, once again, back in the forest, looking about you, alive, and a little lorn. Jericho, your eyes are kind of darting back and forth. You just feel like something's off a bit in your mind. And Micah, you feel a little strange too. You got kind of like a little itch behind your neck. And you look over to see Liamora, who's kind of nervously just kind of rubbing her chest. That was
No.
horrifying.
Just
But
saying, I feel a touch more dead than I was prior to being in there. which makes sense. You know, Shadowfell. I don't like it. I don't like it. I want to sleep now.
Could I try to look over everyone to see if they're okay?
Sure. You can roll me. How are you looking over them? I guess would be the first question.
Less of a medicine standpoint, more just like because we came from the Shadowfell, just the deathly energy.
Sure.
I guess more of an arcane
Yeah,
means.
you can check with an arcane check. Sure. Don't forget you're at
Okay, okay.
disadvantage though, because you're. Oh, wait a minute.
Right, I gotta roll that again.
Uh,
That's still not too bad.
Not too
I'll
bad.
chuck in the.
Oh god, you were at half speed too. So I guess you would have had to carry Gwendolyn as well, Ufek.
That's fine.
I would have carried.
know-
her,
Yes.
it's fine.
19.
You're kind of looking over everybody. Uvek and the others look fine. Jericho, Liamora, and Micah kind of look a little tired. You're not 100% certain what's wrong with it, but it's as if part of them feel like how to put it. You feel like something in them might be a little exhausted or even missing by the looks of the three of them.
Looking the three of you over, I think something's amiss between you all. As if something's missing from you. Maybe the piece of your soul or something. I'm not entirely too sure, but you're a little drained. And not just from combat.
I can feel my bones, Gwen. I shouldn't be able to feel my bones.
So
Can Uvek
powerful.
do like a divine sense just to see if like he can smell any like
Sure, just link it for me so I can look it over, Uvek.
This is why I never, ever voluntarily had a conversation with a Sharan. How can they worship something like that?
Okay, cool. It's not letting me do it. That's fine. I'll just quickly just copy and paste it from D&D Beyond.
What?
Gotta love. It's not letting me link it for some reason.
Divine sense.
There you go.
Usability. There it is. You just had to use the ability, Andy.
I did, and it's
Oh.
just not doing it.
Oh, weird. I got done.
I'm on features. I'm clicking on the roll dice, and it's just not doing anything. You know what it probably is? Because I have it open in a different sheet. That's probably why.
Oh, did you pop it out? Yeah, if you have it popped out, maybe that's the problem.
Here, hold on. Let me just double check.
Regardless, I got it up. It's not a huge issue. But a strong sense. Seems like an odor as an action. Behind you, you know the type of blah blah blah. Within the same radius, you also detect the presence of a place or object that has been consecrated or desecrated with a hollow. Sure, why not? It'll be kind of fun. You kind of get a bit of desecration off the three of them.
Like undead desecration or Feywild desecration or
I mean,
desecration
just
in general.
desecration. It just says consecrated or desecrated. It doesn't actually give you details, unfortunately, from the spell. Yeah, you figure something happened in there when when everything was flickering.
Yeah, I'm definitely picking up a odd little sense coming from you guys. I'm not sure really how to describe it. It's
You know what? Liamar will take a crack at this. I mean, this is literally their wheelhouse.
Well,
Well,
upstage me, why don't you, cousin?
oh fuck. Okay, I think I know what's happening based off what Uvik just said. We might have lost a fraction of a life force in there.
wait, what?
Meaning.
Well, worst case scenario, we probably lost a few years of life.
Oh.
Oh,
Lovely.
that? Oh, that was gonna happen for me anyways. That was useless.
Surprised I'm still alive today, so no surprise from me either.
Well, in any case, hopefully that doesn't come and bite us in the back. There are things in the Shadowfell that, if they find the fraction, might be willing to do something with it. But then again, with everything happening, that's probably the least of our concerns.
You're saying that, what about something like a remove curse or something? Would that be able to restore someone's
No,
portion
it
of...
would take something greater than that. Remove curse. This isn't a curse. This is.
Missing fractions of ourselves. I'm tired of it.
Pardon, Canyon.
What?
Ah,
I said
Would
what
it
I
have
said.
I assume it wouldn't have even affected Gwen because she is dead.
well, it's your soul, not your life force, right?
But
You're not-
like, if you lost
like,
a few years
you
of
wouldn't
your...
lose a few years of your life, but the secondary effect of something getting a hold of that little fraction of you and fucking with you, you would be vulnerable to still.
Okay.
Obviously, right? Because, that's the bigger fear.
Yeah.
Well, with that being the case, I think I should probably head back home to see if I can sort this out.
Oh, you're leaving?
Canyon, it's been wonderful catching up with you again, and I'm glad to see you're doing well. I really am. Honestly.
Canyon scoops her up into a big hug.
Canyon! Oh, my ribs! We just got out of a fire, it hurts! The orc just beat the living hell out of me. You know my ribs are bruised already.
Sorry, I thought you were healed.
It takes a little more than that. Jesus, kind of breathing.
Before you go, sorry, go ahead.
You came from an academy?
Yes, back in the mainland, me and Canyon attended the same school. But
Would
don't worry,
they-
I'm not leaving this instant. I'm going to need to rest to recharge my abilities.
So you will continue this investigation?
Yes, well, needless to say, I want to know what's going on, so I plan to head back to figure out what's happening and perhaps figure out where the pieces of our souls went missing. On top of it. But yes, I'm heading back to hopefully figure out what's happening with this whole stuff with my family heritage and this Uzi fellow.
All things considered, I'm rather glad that it mostly affected those of us who already have far too much long of a lifespan for our own goods. Minus you, Micah, sorry.
Sorry, yeah, I know you're just one of those short-lived plebs, so,
You know. His slow blinks at him.
I mean, hey, technically, I'm one of you now. My lifespan is sort of directly connected now to my boyfriend, and he generally has, like, half the lifespan.
I know what you're talking about. I'm going to be living forever.
For my sake, I hope so.
I'll make sure of it.
I
He's
don't
nice.
know if living eternally is such a great existence.
Gwendolyn, my dear, it was hyperbole.
Right.
You're a very interesting group, aren't you? Mom says as it kind of blinks at you.
Nothing but a bunch of nuts and fruits here.
Makes sense.
He just pats Gwendolyn on the shoulder.
You see a smile come on Lom's face as he looks over at you, Micah? Well, I'm
We'll
glad.
note.
Hmm?
We'll just note his grin, and what was a soft expression immediately falls back to neutral, looking at him.
Makes him a
Jericho
little...
will,
As you do that, his expression also goes back to neutral.
Jericho will poke the corner of Micah's mouth playfully.
Grabs his wrist. Doesn't squeeze it per se, but it is definitely Crap.
Towards the other side.
Jericho laughs, seeing it as just a harmless interaction.
Goes to grab Kenyon's wrist as well.
Yeah, I laugh at the idea though that they could try to like push your mouth up and you could just make your mouth disappear for all intents and purposes.
No.
Yeah.
As I was saying, as they slowly push down the wrists. I do need to sort out the issue with the guild. I don't intend on leaving this investigation either, but I feel my skills may be more useful in the mainland for now. If you would have me. Looks at Leomora.
She kind of looks over at you and smiles and goes, "You know, I have to admit, Micah, out of everyone here, I think I'm okay with you."
You just give a little shoulder lift and a smile. Well, I've heard that a few times.
They were on this group, I'm not surprised.
So you're just going to dangle insults in front of our faces and we're just not supposed to react? Is that what we're doing here?
She kind of looks over at you, Jericho, and goes, "No, Jericho, there's nothing dangling about it. I basically slapped you in the face with it."
Oh, I can literally do that too. Trust. He rolls his eyes and
Stab between them.
no, he very much crosses his arms and rolls his eyes. He's learned the art of banter thanks to her.
Leomora has leveled up Jericho. Jericho learns vicious mockery.
He literally did. He literally did.
Micah can't help but like seeing Jericho be a little more catty, just like a little smirk. Okay.
My
Kinda
son
like
is
this.
grown.
All it took was family.
Mhm.
Well, based off how those two reacted, I'm guessing they're related. Plum says, looking over at you, Uvek.
At first, I didn't believe it, but honestly, kind of worried about reading the rest of the in-laws. Not gonna lie.
Don't worry. As long as you're with me, that probably won't happen.
In-laws already, huh? Wow. Fast.
I'm just picturing now Uvek visiting Jericho's in-laws.
That mention kind of just like slowly makes Jericho blush, but then he quickly is just like, again, this was a complete accident. And just gesturing towards Leomora. The meeting? I didn't even know there were more like me.
What, elves?
Not, first of all, half points at his ear. However, I don't know, I didn't know that I had, well, I knew I had others in my bloodline, but, you know, my mother was human, I was raised more akin to that, so I guess it just never really crossed my mind.
Well, as we did mention, your father was kind of the black sheep of the family.
And a cool one he was.
Probably all the best, I'll have to admit, Jericho. As much as, this, and he kind of, just kind of that whole gesture hand wave at you is a thing, but it does sound like you at least had a good family, Jericho, and I will admit a bit of jealousy to that.
Well, lucky for you, Leomora, you're, what, several hundred years of living minus a couple? You know, you could stick around after this all blows over.
She kind of raises an eyebrow that goes, Jericho, are you inviting me to meet my aunt? She says, kind of think, is that the right word?
Let's put that in the icebox. What I'm saying is that in the effort of all of the weird changes and things that are going on, tell you what, before we go to sleep, so I can also make sure that you don't do the thing where people slink off in the middle of the night, I want to have a talk with you. But we'll get to that later.
Well, very well. We can have a talk with that. I'd also like to speak with you too, Canyon, before I leave.
Yeah, of course.
Well, you all, just the right Estria. Well, you all look like you have like a lot of business to talk about. I'm just gonna work on my bombs and let you all too. And she's kind of slowly backs away.
Jericho gives a little flourish wave. Before then, he's just wait, Estrie, the monastery's that way.
Oh, right. You guys are also like several days away from the monastery, so.
Jericho's plenty of time in the Swiss Coast. He knows his navigation,
Uh,
even if it's more of a
Mike.
hunch than anything.
Just uttering under their breath, just. And these are my idiots.
No, someone's got to make sure that we don't get into trouble.
I'm putting that on Gwendolyn. No way.
Congratulations, Gwendolyn, you've been promoted.
You have the brain cells.
I already had that job.
I know. And we deeply appreciate you for doing it. Honestly.
Ranting.
What was that, Micah?
Co-parenting. Smiles.
I feel
Well,
like
no,
Mike is like
nonsense.
the weekend dad because they're not here often enough to be full time.
I'm parent with responsibilities for 3 days.
Assigned wine aunt at birth.
Micah does seem like the kind of parent that would give their 5-year-old just like a taste of beer, just that way they don't steal from her supply later in life.
You know. It's the wine aunt with the 3 figures of a salary just comes in every once in a while, still paying the child support, but why go over there?
Well, Miss Lamar and Micah, if you are heading back to the mainland, I would also wish to accompany you as well. If only so I can spend more time to get to know Micah. Well, I mean, there's no limit on how many people I can bring, so suit yourself. But please, the... I'm just gonna say it. Don't be a changeling there. That's gonna cause so many problems. Please disguise yourself. Of course. I do know the mainland's not quite Unity.
You learn the hard way.
I did.
Stares at him.
It's your fault, Dad. You're in discretion
Yeah, this
led.
is why I'm here. You may join us, I suppose.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Just stop talking as if I'm gonna bite your head off. Because they would.
Because they would. Yes, of course. I'm sorry.
Jericho will speak up in defense of Loam, actually. It's just, have you considered speaking less of a tone of someone who bites heads off?
This is my normal tone. I don't know what you're talking about.
Change, Micah. Change.
Rolling their eyes, tilting their head back. This life is so hard. Change. Smiles. Of course. We'll get there.
I have to admit that's actually creepier than when she's being mob head biting off. Lamar just says.
Baby steps.
The smile drops and just. Let's just back to the monastery, please.
Well,
And Uvek,
Hmm.
you could just drag the ground. Don't worry about your pretty little arms. And pointing at grandfather, who I assume he's still carrying.
No, I wasn't planning on carrying them the entire way. And then Uvek's just gonna just whistle, and he's going to, as they're walking, just resummon Mishka. There we go.
Such a privilege. I was thinking you could drag his face through the dirt.
Oh no, I hooked up a bit of rope around his ankles, and put it in Mishka's mouth, and he can drag it like that.
Wonderful.
I'm feeling a bit too sore for that myself.
Mm.
Because the best way to deal with an enemy is to ignore them, even in death.
So just to reach up and pat his cheek.
that sounds like terrible advice.
It indubitably, yes.
Lamar just looks over at you and goes, "You ignore you. What do you do when they stab you?"
Ignore the pain and then bash him in.
Jericho will just kind of leap up, wrap his arms around his back and neck, and it says, "Uvek here was kidding, because Uvek here also now lives for the both of us, quite literally." And he'll reach up and pick out the white strand of hair that he now has.
Right. Well, I got nothing to. I got no retort to that. He's right. I gotta try to be better.
Well, cousin, you definitely know how to pick them.
Jericho will just narrow his eyes at her. And he just points to a direction behind her. He just put it down. There's the twins.
What can I say?
Sneaking towards her pocket with centipedes in hand.
What can I say on Leomor? He takes pity on the dumb ones.
Not. I do not.
Oh, so you don't pity him?
I care for him. Love.
I care for you.
Pity and love are not the same things.
Lamar smiles very fiendishly when you say that.
You know, I'm not going to take this from the single one.
Single.
How goes your love life, cousin?
Single.
Well, bit like my okay, I will admit it's a bit like my studies. It's dead. But, as you say, I have a few hundred years to figure it out.
You are insufferable.
It runs in
Actually,
our family.
You're appropriately sufferable.
Yeah. Well, in any case, before anyone else has any camping experiences, I suppose either we should get ready to camp and then leave for the temple in the morning. And then, after that, I say we'll have to bid everyone farewell.
Alright. Let's make our 2 domes. Leave an inclusion for the likes of Canyon and I, so we can talk later.
Of course. Wait a minute, you can't... She looks over at you, Draco! Wait, aren't you making the dome?
You also made a dome last time.
Yes, I know, cousin, you can't leave the dome.
He pauses imperceptibly and is like, I knew that. I was testing your dead studies. And this is why he has 14 and she higher.
We're just looking confused.
Anyways, Jericho, when you're ready, we can talk before the domes are up.
I like that idea better.
Canyon.
Is there like a cliffside by any chance, Heath?
No, you guys are out in the forest.
Darn. Hmm.
Oh, I zoomed out. There's all.
Yeah, I was just gonna suggest like, hey, there's a good cliff face. We could dump the body. Nah, that's too pretty. We gotta find one that's jagged and not very.
I mean, if you're worried about the body, Uvek, this is a forest. It'll be gone in the morning if you leave it out.
That is true. It would be eaten. On the other hand, that would attract bears. But I mean, it's gonna be with us anyway, so.
Well, we have domes. We don't have to worry about animals.
Yeah.
We can't just bury him?
I don't know. That's up to that's a very Micah thing to decide.
I want no chances that he comes back to haunt, that his body isn't taken by this Dr. Ooze, or any other chances in which he returns and causes more havoc, so whatever it is that we must do.
Immolation.
Well, I could just fireball him and be done with it.
Perfect.
Oh!
Hold on, I actually got some oil here. Make sure the arms. You ever seen the wicker effect? Not a terrible idea.
So, great. Not in the middle of a forest.
I didn't think of that. You know what? That's a very good point.
I mean, how about you launch him up in the air and we can do it like polling?
Ooh,
We're
that's a fun
not
idea.
doing it only.
Oh no, that sounds
Now I'm
kind
kinda
of fun.
Wait a second.
Uvek is like literally picking up the corpse right now, and he's just like
Alright, it's awesome.
bending his knees up and
Getting ready to
down, up
throw
and
it.
down.
If we wanted to do that, though, I actually happen to have a spell for that, though. Now that I think about it.
Well,
I wanted to
be
show off.
honest.
Jericho will just walk up to Grandpa and just reaches out and just touches him, and from the ground and from the surrounding forest, just several spectral blue birds fly down and cover this man, and they just all start flying up, and he casts Levitate.
Just realize we're just turning Grandpa into a pinata.
Firework.
Fantastic pull! She just launches a fireball right at it.
Just
Just
let him get high enough in the air.
Yeah,
and
then-
just... It literally is a firework at that point.
Jesus Christ.
It's gonna rain burning grandpa on us.
Whatever's exploding and just flying in the air, Uvek's just gonna take an Eldritch blast pot shot at whatever limbs are flying away.
That's what creates the sparkles.
Canyon is going to step below some cover.
This has got to be the most disrespectful death that I've ever
Micah
seen.
is smiling, just like a little wave. Goodbye. Good riddance.
Disrespectful corpse
Actually,
removal.
Canyon,
Oh, you know what we
she's
should have
making
done?
such a face.
You know what we should have done? We should have asked Estri for a bit of black powder. Just put it
I'm
down.
sure
no,
she's actually running back right now, having seen that thing. Like, you did this without me?
Yeah, pretty much.
This is how she turns into the next villain.
And we are morbid, but this is hilarious.
It's already dead.
I
don't
mean,
think the
Andy,
gods are
disposing
approving
of
this.
bodies in D&D is important. Every party should know how to
Actually-
dispose.
Can Leah Mora resurrect him as he's floating up?
Well, she could turn him into a zombie, but she can't resurrect him.
Oh, man.
Because she doesn't have life magic. She can just control the dead.
Next level, guys. Next level. I can do it. Give me time. Let me cook.
Speaking of which, as you guys go together, if anybody would like to pair off for their chats, they can do so.
I mean, I guess it's a weird thing because, like, when she said that she might want to also talk to Canyon, that actually changed his thing. But I think he wants to get in a word first,
Okay.
especially since his is likely to be short.
So Liamora
Kill her.
looks over at you and nods to you as the two wander off.
Mm-hmm.
And what is it, cousin?
Also, just because I think it's funny, I want to see who accompanies them. Oh, Ghost Girl, cool. Not to be confused with Lethal Company Ghost Girl. That's
I'm
toxic.
crying, throwing up.
Angelica will just. Alright. I've thought. I didn't want to say it at the time because at the time there was a lot going on, and I wasn't entirely sure if I could trust you with the. Not the information. This isn't something that you need to know as much as you. Or should, I think. Or that you probably already do. It concerns Canyon. You know, I didn't. I'm gonna make a lot of guesses, and I swear to God, if you quirk an eyebrow at me, there will be problems. No, there won't. He shakes his head immediately after. And he just says, I didn't grow up surrounded by friends or family. I only ever really had my mom. Everything else came after. And it took a while. And thinking. But even the relationship I had with my mother, as formative as it was for me, it wasn't perfect. Moving on to the several experiences that I've had through her short life, and the experiences that I've had recently, it's made me very pensive and contemplative on friendship and what it means. I've always been one to hop to the defense of anybody that I consider mine, so to speak. I think that's integral to having friends, to care about them, to fight for them. Of course, fighting was something I was never really good at, and frankly, still aren't, until recently. And even then, I could still use some work. This is not a reflection of your character or anything. I don't think so. In truth, I don't really know you quite yet, even with the time that we've been alongside one another, but it was something you said back when we were sort of, kind of arguing back in the caves, or before them. Somewhere in between. You'd said something about Canyon when I really, really wanted to know why you treat her the way that you did. And I think I get it now, and I think you, if you stopped thinking with this, and points at his temple, and started thinking with this, and points towards his chest, you would be able to figure out, too. From what you've told, our family has not been the kindest to you at all. But I see the way that Canyon looks at you and hugs you and wants to constantly make sure that you're okay. She genuinely, perhaps as much as I feel towards them, loves you just as much as the rest of us. You mean a lot to her.
Blyamore looks at you and kind of nods. I think you're correct, Jericho. I had lots of feelings to sort out when I saw Canyon again. And to be honest, oddly enough, Canyon was my first friend. As much as that is to say. And I have to admit, with what happened to Canyon, it was jealousy, I have to admit, if I have to be honest with myself. And I swear to God, Jericho, if you so much as breathe this tender word, I will murder you, bring you back as a skeleton, and force you to dress around and drag and run around doing crazy things. So you say this to no one, understood?
First, I was going to do that anyway. Second, I will not. Do not worry.
Thank you, but you're right. I had to do some soul searching in this little journey with Canyon, and I did come to realize when her life was in danger down at with that dragon we fled from, I didn't want any harm to come to her. And I need to speak with her about this.
He lets out a little huff from his nose, and his genuinely serious demeanor kind of cracks into something of a exasperated fondness. And it's just... I'm going to say something that I'm going to regret immediately. But... you definitely are smarter than me. Because it took me a lot longer to really take a look at my pride and figure that out. So I'll leave you with this. If you want to not hurt her, that's a great start, but never forget that the person that can really hurt our loved ones is oftentimes ourselves. If we want to keep them around, if they are truly worth keeping around, and frankly, Canyon is worth gold, platinum, in my eyes, far more than I could ever count. You change for them. As you would change for yourself, you change for them. And in the favor of keeping around family and changing and not being stubborn, he's suddenly very tense. I think that your presence here has been quite organic. Like a harmony to a song. And the harmony is a flat, held line that does not change in tone, but generally speaking, makes the song better. And despite the fact that I am more than likely a far better singer than you ever could be, I would like to continue this harmony for the future. And I don't know, whenever Uvek does something stupid and kills us both, you can find a way to bring us both back. I don't know. But
she kind of
families for...
As you said, she actually lets out a small chuckle. You know, Jericho.
Nope. You first.
You know, Jericho. Despite our rocky start and your nature and our diametrically opposed personalities, I think you might be my favorite cousin.
I'm like the only one that you've talked to for this long. Don't lie to me.
Well, true, I haven't seen the others in half a century, but you're still my favorite. That says something, doesn't it?
I really have been around humans for long. Half a century just was a blow to my gut. Huh. Well. I'm going to internalize this information. We will meet again. I honestly expected more yelling out of this conversation. I'm kind of annoyed that you came to this conclusion by yourself.
Well, almost being eaten, murdered, and killed 3 times in a week tends to open one's mind a bit.
Sometimes literally.
Especially when they steal your memories.
Don't remind me. I already forgot.
Well, your little ghost friends keep you company, and your children better be careful because, let them know that I saw everything they did.
I think they know, and that's why they did it. He looks off at them. They both look off at them. They nod, standing behind Jericho, hiding but like protectively.
The family curse, I suppose.
Turned
Well-
into a blessing. And he pats them.
I'm glad you made it work for you, Jericho. I think our family would learn much from you if you bothered to share that experience.
He thinks about it really hard for a moment. Uppity elven nobles and teaching.
Yes, as soon as I said it, I realized. Plus, if you bring Uvek, I can only imagine the tears that would occur. If you think
know what I
I'm
must do.
uptight and thing, you should see your aunt.
I know what I must do. Song, stage. If there's one way to crack an elf, it's with a good bass line.
She kind of opens her mouth and closes it. Sure, we'll go with that.
I have to sleep on this. All right. Do you want me to get her?
If you would be so kind.
Often am.
He
He walks
won't roll.
away. Good night.
I'm just gonna say, like, when Jericho says, I'm just picturing, like, whenever Uvek is somehow gonna get both of us killed, Uvek just, like, in the background, just, like, cooking something by the campfire, and just, like, a singe of fire just hits him, like, in the hand or something. He's like, ah, dang.
Anyone wonder only this is the song that went in my head, Andy.
Freebird is another
Yeah.
good one. I was also thinking for some reason Seven Nation Army for some reason, but
Playing that to elves. Actually, yeah, you should.
I just remember playing that song on guitar here on my arm being exhausted by the end of it.
it's a good song though.
It is.
That's what made it go through.
Any case, Jericho. Hey, gather Canyon.
Jericho will just. He'll. What is she doing basically as he returns to their little camp area?
She's probably still just kind of setting things up, occasionally just casting glances at Micah, kind of checking in with them, even from afar.
Just imagine Micah
Fid-
and Lom are just staring at each other, not saying a goddamn word.
They've been like this for 2 hours. I'm starting to get worried.
I think they're having a staring contest, but I don't think changelings need to blink.
Are they talking telepathically? No, they're just staring. Micah will just like, if they are staring at each other, just eventually break, looks over, looks back at Lom, walks over to Canyon, only for Canyon to eventually get called and walked off, and just like, God damn it, I can't escape.
Goes back to staring at Dad. It's that
If
awkward.
Canyon or if Micah walked over, Canyon would ask to braid their hair.
Micah would
Like-
consider it, and then they would put their hands through their hair in the ways that, you know, a L'Oreal commercial does, where you run it through the entirety of it, except when they do so, the hair does grow longer. Down to their butt.
I think that's what happens in the L'Oreal commercials.
True.
That's exactly what happens. And it's just it's the length and waviness that she would remember from the time before. When they had changed. Actually, I just happened to pick up the picture here, because I was looking at it earlier.
Oh, a pop.
Woohoo!
I love it.
I'm bringing this bitch back.
It's just
They're
find it
still
funny that
in-
old changelings, like just the Lom look and that look. It's the white eyes and everything, right? And looking so similar.
Just like their papa.
Yeah,
But they're still in the human form. It's just now that their hair is longer.
longer.
Canyon would sit behind them and a little bit, maybe a tad more quiet and somber than usual. Start kind of distracting herself by braiding Micah's hair. I think like two long braids.
I'll be back, you know.
When do you think that'll be?
I'm unsure. I need to make sure that the guild keeps in line. Mayhaps use them for researching purposes. If any of them are willing to still follow me. May have to do some purging. Mayhap a week or two. Maybe longer. But you'll know where I'll be.
I guess. I mean, it'll take a while for you to get back to the mainland.
Well, and we'll just kind of glance over towards Laramora's way. Without her, it would.
Oh, yeah. Just be safe, okay?
Well, that's my line to you. And we'll just scoot over a little bit and face her just a little more, but not enough to move away from the braid. Stay in one piece.
I'll try.
No, you will. And even though the tone is commanding, there's a small smile there.
She smiles back. I will.
You
No.
must. You must. No, this is actually Jericho. He shows up in the darkness with his hands wiggling over his head.
Jericho, I could take you by the back of your shirt and hang you up on the tree right now.
Ah, but you misunderstand. My new cloak of protection is Micah immune. Don't test that.
Stabs right through the cloak immediately.
The way they raise their eyebrows, just like.
He immediately said, "Do not test that."
Are you making pigtails? Because I don't think those look too good on me.
So, oh, we're braiding hair. Oh, okay. I have to get on all of that. Oh, let me not get distracted. Canyon, Leomora was wanted me to come get to you since I'm done talking to her.
Oh, yeah. Of course. He like looks at the two unfinished braids.
Don't worry,
I-
Jericho has us covered.
Jericho's hands were like twitching with anticipation.
Speaking of, Gwendolyn,
Mm,
come here, darling. You're gonna join this this braid train.
I imagine Jericho's hands are also itching because like Canyon probably wasn't used to braiding. Like I imagine more like non-black hairstyles and like non-black hair, so it wasn't quite great.
Mm.
It's a little uneven here and there. She's trying her best. Either that or too tight.
It's dark outside. It's dark outside, and she's sad.
she'll warily get up and make her way over and then sit in front of Micah.
I can braid your hair. Yes?
Sure, that's fine.
Now off with this, and we'll tap the hat. And then we'll shoo Lion away. Just go have your conversation. We'll be here. And you can finish the other braiding.
I'll leave a couple undone.
And Michael
Smiles
will
and like waves and like points in a direction at Jericho, like basically asking where Leo is.
We're just gonna keep doing this because I think it's very fun from a roleplay perspective. Yeah. Jericho just twins. Can you and you'll just see two orc children, basically at the height of like your hip, materialize that you've seen before, and they seem a little bit intimidated, but they hand in hand approach you and reach up for your hand and grab it and start pulling you in their direction.
So these are like the two ghost children?
Yes.
I imagine the little goblin child was out, like as her echo.
The little goblin echo child you murdered? Okay.
Listen, he needed some fresh air.
That's fine. So the
Double
goblin
punishment.
the goblin child's out with the other echoes. Oh.
I
But
know
yeah,
it'd
he
be
will walk her alongside. Sorry, go ahead.
I know it'd be a lot of money, but I'd love to see a commission of Jericho, like, and all his spirits just walking towards a direction, and they're all like chilling.
Conga lining it.
Duckling line.
Justice
Bro,
League.
Bro, I
I'm
need to
pretty
open up. I need to fuck a commission. I need to open up a subscription with Zaka.
Subscribe to my
picturing-
Patreon.
For your Ko-Fi coffee? Coffee.
My Kofi?
Caffey.
The best,
Coffee?
the best part
picturing
is
some
that
of
they
them
look
with
have a
this.
reference to.
With Jericho just kind of holding the hands of like all the ghosts.
Oh. Did I ever? Hold on, gosh, I'll remember later, or probably not. I don't know. But I can show you the OG of where that came from. It came from an anime that I really like. That I'm waiting for the next.
Is that me, baby? Oh, yeah. Ah.
Okay. Master Splinter and the Turtles.
I can't remember the name of the rat for some reason.
Splinter.
Yeah.
Okay, anyways, back to the game. So Canyon, you head towards see Limar, who's been standing with her arms crossed, tapping her foot, waiting for you to arrive. And just hear a little, of course he's gonna take his goddamn time.
Sorry.
Oh, there you are, Canyon. It's good to see you. It's not your fault. I'm sure Jericho was very long-winded about that.
The twins next to Canyon just blow raspberries at her and then disappear.
You just hear a shout out, "You know he was!"
It's cute to see you getting along with him.
Well, he's a bit like a wart. He grows on you.
But that's so mean. No,
Would have been
but
funnier if it was Xavier, though. Considering the rats.
true. True.
Well, in any case, Canyon, I want to have one last conversation with you before I leave. God, this is difficult to say. You know what? She just walks up, Canyon, and hugs you.
Like, Link's a bit surprised because, like, freezes, trying to recall, like, a single time that she's ever been the one to initiate a hug.
Probably never.
You can't find one. And hugs her back gently this time. We're careful of her ribs. Hey, it's okay. We'll see each other again.
I know we will, and I just want to say I'm sorry, Canyon. I have been acting rather terrible to you over the last little bit.
Sometimes you were a little
I was
mean.
a bitch, I was horrible, and I know it, Canyon. I was jealous of you.
What? Why would you be jealous of me? You're amazing.
Canyon, you attract people in a way I used to think I wanted to I could do as a child. Look, all those people out there, as aggravating as many of them are, well, they're wonderful friends, and you attract good people, Canyon. People that will do anything to help you.
He smiles back.
Hmm?
And you're one of them.
I'm proud to be one of them, Canyon. You were my first friend.
I don't think I knew that.
I never told you before. That day we met in school and you just came up and started talking to me. It was something special for me. I don't think I've ever had to tell you that before.
Canyon's face twists just a little as she's like trying not to cry. She's like,
And I just wanted you to know I appreciate you. You perhaps are one of the best things in my life.
okay, she can't. Yeah,
This is done.
it's so over.
She just started bawling.
Not bawling, but she's like trying to like hold it back. She's like tiny little hiccups.
She kind of.
It's
Oh.
really nice to hear that from you.
She actually look over and you see Lymar does wipe a tear from her eyes as well. You
I
take.
just
Go.
No, go ahead.
No, you go first.
I was worried about you and you just left immediately when we got here. I was worried you didn't ever want to see me again.
Kenyon, I'm sorry about that. I was still angry. And like I said before, I was so jealous. I now understand that those emotions were foolish. And I'm very sorry I made you feel that way.
I forgive you.
She wipes a tear from her eye. A few tears come from her eyes. She just wipes them. It's like, thank you very much, Canyon. That means a lot to me.
Squeezes are just a bit tighter, like
The ribs! Yeah, it's not like she's in agony. It's just that feeling when you're about to feel the pain. It's like,
Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
You sure you don't need like a healing potion or something?
I'll be fine. I just need some rest. We've had worse. That grandfather person really knew how to throw a punch.
Oh, yeah, he was stronger than the last time, and the last time we fought him, he kind of killed one of us and knocked the rest of us out.
Oh God, which one did he kill?
Uvek, I think, right?
Nope. It
What?
was Jericho who actually died.
Uvek
just is the one who got him killed.
Yeah.
Ah, right. It was
Uvek
one
died.
of those two. They're the same person now, anyways.
Who did Uvek die to then? I forgot.
The explosion.
Was it
With
no, they
at the like
Wizard's Tower.
card game.
Yeah,
right.
you died at the Wizard's Tower.
I forgot about that. AKA, I repressed it.
Where Lydia sacrificed herself in a kamikaze explosion to take out the wizard. Oh, now I'm sad.
They're back. we could bring them back.
My word, so my cousin was killed from him. Well, I'm glad he got his back then.
Yeah. I mean, wish it didn't have to come to that, but
Canyon, you do have to realize there are some people that just should not be alive anymore.
isn't your whole thing bringing people back?
No, think of it more like recycling, Canyon. We just use the corpses again. Think of it like, a tree isn't brought back when you turn it into a chair.
Huh.
Just-
I hadn't thought about it like that.
There's no soul attached to the skeleton. Just fucking suck. Yeah, there's no soul attached to the corpse, Canyon. It's just puppeted meat.
That's better than bringing back the soul. I mean, I don't think a lot of my echoes are that happy to still be here.
I don't think your echoes are full people, Canyon. Remember what I said about the part of our soul being taken from the Shadowfell?
Yeah.
Your echoes are sort of like that.
I swear some of them act sentient at times.
Well, I think it's possible that some of them may have had a deeper connection over time with you.
Other bad implications to think that I'm just kind of bringing around a bunch of people who should be resting in the afterlife, but we'll figure that out someday.
Well, I mean, it has something to do with the puzzle you keep running around with, Canyon. Or the key, I suppose it is now.
Yeah. Weird to think how we were all connected like that.
Fate's a funny thing, I suppose. What are the odds that you would run into my cousin here?
Well, how many cousins do you have?
3 that I'm aware of now. Mind you, the other 2 are over 300 years old, so...
I guess the odds kind of rise with that.
She kind of tilts her head at you, Canyon. I suppose 1 in... Let's see, the mathematical formula divided by the people living, average lifespan, but your lifespan also is a take... You actually... It's a lot lower than you...
Really tired.
She starts working out the math. Yes, the odds would have been 1 in 786,243,275 and 1/6.
Don't think that one's right. But I don't know. Guess your family also just draws in people.
Perhaps. I mean, it makes sense, I suppose, that Jericho was here with us since the family seems to be linking us. I thought this place, though, seems to be linking everyone here together. I mean, your friend Uvek, this is his ancestry, apparently. Micah's father came from here. That Estri girl apparently went to hell.
Yeah, she's also from here.
And Gwendolyn, I actually don't know what's up with her.
She like opens her mouth and then character development. Maybe not my place to tell.
Fair enough. All I know is she's a corpse that's been running about.
I guess.
And apparently the bird's her father?
Yeah, I love Hemlock.
Yes.
Hemlock's a good dad.
Mm-hmm. Brings up so many questions, but besides the point. I just wanted to say, Canyon, I'm going to miss you very much when I head back home. And I want you to make sure you take care of yourself. You come back alive and don't take unnecessary risks.
Well, I can't promise about the risks part. I
said
facing
unnecessary. I know you undertake risks, Canyon. I know who you are, but just don't run headlong into death when others can take care of themselves, please.
I'll try. I will.
Jesus Christ, Judah.
That's my thought. I'm like, fuck. Both of them are leaving.
Waiting. The real horror is Mike is going to hit that when they get over there and just going to be so much worse.
He does have 2 hands.
Micah has 2 hands.
Yeah.
That's true.
Micah could Micah have more than 2 hands?
They still technically had to be bipedal humanoid.
But like,
That's
could
true.
you add more hands? Like, you know how there's like finger hands?
I mean, I suppose they could add more fingers at the very least.
So not more
We
than
don't have that
limbs.
street to.
Yeah, I don't think you can have more
robots.
limbs according to the thing. Like, you can't look like anything. You still have to be humanoid as a changeling.
No. I'm talking about
I don't know. I suppose if there's a humanoid creature
talking
with
about
multiple
these
hands.
bad boys.
Yeah, I figured. Yeah, basically the glove world hands from SpongeBob.
I mean, they probably could. Not that they ever will.
For
Unless I do
Gwen
the
and
animation.
Astri and Canyon and probably like 14 other people they met around along their journey or something.
Well, in any case, Lion, Marta, and Canyon head back to camp. Micah, is there anything you would like to do at this final night?
His first, we're hanging around. Micah is still working on Gwendolyn's braids. I'm sure Uvek is somewhere close by cooking. And they're just taking their time. They're more fiddling with hair than actually braiding. Apologies, I have to leave you with the group again. But you know how it is.
Oh, it's alright.
How are you feeling now?
I still need some rest, but, that'll come in time. We're safe now. That's all that really matters.
For now, I had you to apparently that it might take anywhere from a week, 2 weeks. Ideally, I'm just trying to find answers over there as well.
Mm. Well, I hope you find what you're looking for.
Micah will kind of glance over Lom's way, of which they will talk to him afterwards. Ma looks back at her and combs through. We'll see. At least personally, as far as what I'm looking for.
Mm.
And they pause for a bit. Not sure what that is at this point. Oh, before I forget, I did make an arrangement with Shuffles.
Right.
We did kill her master, which means her seal should be broken, correct?
I suppose I don't know the exact intricacies of that.
So just to remind you, technically speaking, her master was dead before you guys ever met her. You've discovered that the master, like the dragon was pretending to be her master.
Yeah.
So, given how the spell works, she wouldn't be able to
Yeah,
tell.
like, well, no, like she would.
basically
Yeah,
being
she didn't know
manipulated,
that. The spell isn't like basically he just has the command word to torture her torture them when necessary. But since he's dead, that is no longer something they have to fear, right?
Okay.
Like that is what you guys were able to gather, just to remind you, because it's been a long time. But that was the favors you found out that they were a fake, and thus they are free from the slave brand.
Okay. Well, one of my plans is to find her before leaving. If you need information and someone to lend it, I can send her a note.
And that would be appreciated.
That will do. She's already been here long enough to make connections. I think that would be useful considering Oh, all of the wonderful shenanigans we have locked ourselves.
Hmm. I'm sure she'll fit right in.
Let's see. Treat her well. And, looks back behind, as I assume Jericho is still braiding their hair. And of course, remember to behave.
Right? You don't need to tell me that.
Oh, you are the most behaved, but, you know, the one in the back.
Jericho is just humming, minding his business when he notices he is being, catching strays, and is just like, how do you respond? Actually,
Say that again?
I'm thinking about how he would respond. I think somewhere between the lightest tug on their hair, as well as like a stopping of motion, and he would just. Yeah, he wouldn't even say anything. He's just like the slightest tug of the hair and the stop of motion. And he just like slowly continues. Like his little song he was whistling to just stops too. Like everything stops. He's just I didn't hear that. He didn't actually say it, but he just continues whistling along.
My god, just in response to the tug, just kind of like pulls their hair back in a tug in return.
that actually gets him to laugh. It's just we'll miss you, you know.
I know, because I'm just so lovable.
Yep, so lovable. And I already know that you'll just love the, every now and then sending spells that I can just send to you whenever I want.
Not
In the middle
when
of
I'm
sleeping. Especially
Not-
when.
Not when I'm sleeping. I did say I'm returning, so don't. And they finally turn around a little bit. So don't compile your punishments.
he just in a bit it's like this weird area of like he's a little intimidated, but also in the spirit of good-natured ribbing, gives a little tug too, and a little tug on their hair, and it's just like that goes for you too. I'll be counting the days.
Micah just reaches back to get a good handful of Jericho's hair. Not yank it, but just start pulling it back. You know, you're the one who needs to behave. Frankly, though, Gwendolyn, I think you can misbehave a little as a treat.
Why would I? I don't even know what I would even do.
I would consult Estri and figure that out.
I'm sure she
But
has
that-
plenty of ideas.
I don't see the need for it. I'm just gonna continue being me and do what I do.
I agree. Just, you know, I think that, you may be undead, but live a little,
In the end,
I
Hmm.
I already have Hemlock to be a pest. I don't think I need to contribute.
Oh, you won't be past, trust me. And we'll let go of Jericho's hair as they just slowly continued to like yank him down slowly. And then let go. History enjoys your company. That would not be bothering.
if you think you're truly. You're probably one of the most, say, self sufficient members of our little family of ours. I would not be surprised if you'd be perfectly fine just going about doing whatever you do, researching, learning new spells, just, your relation with the world, your peace. But, I don't know. I think change is good. More than ever before, even. Not to say I'm pressuring you towards anything of that sort, but, I feel like risk-taking would suit you, just a little bit.
I disagree.
And why is that?
Because I have to worry about all you.
Ugh, okay.
Risk taking outside of battle.
That is precisely what I'm saying, yes.
It doesn't hurt to share your experiences with someone who already enjoys it.
Are you asking me to gamble?
No. Take, for example, and we'll turn to Uvek, who I assume is just slowly stirring the soup pot. For example, these two. They continue to do their hobbies. This one continues to sing and tell his little stories, morbid and otherwise, way. And this one over here will cook and will make his funny little dad jokes. And nothing changed much since they started acting like a married couple, bound in more ways than one. But they are now doing it together.
Right.
It may seem like a trivial change, but it is change nonetheless. The kind that grows up. Not that I would know. Everything's still the same. Rolling their eyes. Reluctantly.
Well, as someone who
I'm just gonna
supposedly-
say as you say that, just hear.
What?
Oh, nothing. I just had a tickle in my throat.
Staring at him again.
Well, as someone who sort of knows, I personally think it would be very sweet for you to, I don't know, write your own sort of love story. If that is something that you end up wanting. It's not a gamble, but every relationship has a degree of uncertainty. To be honest, I'm not even entirely sure how Uvik and I even happened. It just sort of did. But I think what helped is that the both of us were open to it.
Are you both telling me to find love right now?
I didn't say that.
You could.
I'm just saying openness is the key to experience.
What I'm saying is you live mainly through function. But as a person, alive or otherwise, still a person. You still have your hopes. You still feel joy and pain, sorrow, loneliness. You are allowed to live outside of productivity.
Or necessity.
You can walk a road. You don't have to smell the flowers. Good. Would not take too much time out of your day. And it would be a pleasant experience, would it not?
Hmm.
Or
And sometimes cartwheeling is faster than walking.
Or if you're the breed of Jericho, then yes, you could cartwheel.
I did that downhill once. I couldn't stop. That's why I learned Featherfall.
Of course you would.
He just shrugs.
But do you see our point?
Yes, I do.
So, live a little. Think about it, and when opportunities arise, consider it.
I'll keep it in mind.
What you guys talking about? Anyway, just arrives with just a big tub of sounds kind of like a tomato soup with a few slices of toasted bread with melted cheese on top.
Just wondering when you're going to ask the big question, since you've already started thinking about in-laws.
Hey, Micah,
Hmm.
do you have the capacity to just remove your mouth?
They do exactly that, and it's very uncanny.
Jericho will. Well, first of all, he's not even looking. But even if he was, Jericho just will go ahead and secure the deal by taking away his hands from their hair and just covering the mouth area with both of his hands threaded with fingers. It's just like,
Well, to answer your question, Micah, I would have already, but I just haven't found the appropriate. It's kind of hard to jewelry shop when you're out in the forest for so long.
My god, just like Jericho lace the fingers around the mouth. And then at some point he'd probably realize, oh no, there's no lips over there. That's kind of that's a little fucked. And Micah just tilting their head towards Uvek. Turns their head in the best way that they can while there's hands over their face.
honestly, nothing's stopping Micah from just like a little Sukuna moment. Just mouth appears elsewhere on body.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Jericho will continue back to braiding hair, but also now he's significantly more red because whoa.
Mouth reappears over the proper place on the face. Well now, interesting.
What?
Oh, nothing. Don't worry about it.
No, that was something.
Well, not quite something yet, but maybe soon. First, we gotta make sure we get out of this forest. First, we gotta get out of this forest first, and hopefully back to somewhere a bit nicer.
Jericho just like he does a slow nod with his pallid skin, just a certain shade of beet, and he'll leave it at that for now, and he will simply just, well, my love, if you don't mind, just great food, just 180, and clean up after yourself. You can't be messy.
No, we'll just make sure to take care of anything after business. Don't worry.
He just curtly nods as best as he can. It's more of a shiver than a nod, really.
Micah will get up with their bowl, and we'll also ask for a second bowl to bring over. Just mentions offhandedly. Well, when I return, I expect to know what the wedding colors will be. Thank you. And we'll walk over to Lom.
Glom was just kind of sitting quietly, watching all that, just not trying to interfere, say anything.
Micah will walk over and kind of half shove the bowl onto it, towards him.
Just kind of takes it and he looks up and just kind of clears. I like your friends.
You look so pitiful standing in the corner over there.
It's difficult, to be honest, Micah. The way you speak with everyone, kind of smiles. You're a bit like your mother.
They open their mouth, and for a moment they almost look pissed. But they don't say anything, as next comes a small wave of confusion.
Well, your mother was also very much... She fretted over people she cared for, but didn't like to show it.
I see.
Yes, have that part of her in you, I suppose.
And they just stir their spoon through the soup. Her name?
Lillian.
Lillian.
Well, if you're looking for a last name, your mother was common born, so thus she didn't really have one.
I see. And what were you playing as at the time?
Actually, when your mother found me, she saw me as I was. I was, well, when I came to, I was knocked unconscious, and, your mother was looking over top of me when I was in a bed. Apparently she found me passed out in the middle of a field somewhere. And she took me home to take care of me.
Was this when you remember how you got to the main?
Honestly, I was a bit of a miraculous scenario. I had been out training, out and about in the world. I was friends with Stormwolf at the time, and well, he kind of rubs his neck embarrassingly. I fell out of a tree. And next thing I know, I was apparently in a completely different area in the world.
They look thoroughly unimpressed.
It's not something I was proud of or anything, it just happened. I, to this day, have no idea how.
There have been tears that have been appearing and taking people. It was part of the investigations that we all started with when we entered the island.
I do know a
had
bit
been-
about it. Oh, sorry.
Yes, well, you had been essentially transferred over. Teleport of sorts.
No, I'm aware of a little of it. I did do some research into it now, obviously, but obviously back then, no clue. And when I came back, it was... It's when I tried to attack the man you called grandfather. I attacked him, and he threw a dagger at me, and next thing I know, I was back in Unity. I suspect perhaps, maybe, at least in my case, the teleportation occurred in a situation where I might not have survived otherwise. At least, that's what seems to have happened twice. On the other hand, maybe it was a giant coincidence. Kind of a hard thing to test, obviously. You know, if it fails, then he just makes that motion with his throat. Kind of one of the things you can only get wrong once.
So either your luck is incredible, or the gods favor you in some to what way?
It would seem that way. I mean, I never did find anyone else from Unity when I was on the mainland, though apparently others had gone over there in the past.
One of ours, actually. And we'll look off into the direction of where Estri is.
Just, I was going to ask how you knew the daughter of one of the most powerful people on the continent.
Yeah, what was her story exactly? Like she went on the mainland for a little bit and then came back.
So yeah, Estri's backstory was Estri had a similar experience to him, except she was teleported to the Nine Hells by Grandpa.
Ah.
Hers was a little different. You gather with hers was less of an accident and more Dr. Ooze was able to get her there, right? Through the connection with the grandfather.
Okay.
Well, your father's was a complete accident, and you also gather Uvek's ancestor was a complete accident. Right? Ooze, with Estri, it seemed Ooze was trying to figure out how these tears were working and trying to open them up. And Estri would just happen to be the test subject that they were using. And their family. That's also why it wasn't just Estri, but the entire family.
Okay. Yes, her case is special. Family complications, I'm sure you could imagine. And very poor at hiding.
I see. Well, I'm glad to see that at least you're okay. And despite everything, looks over at the friends who I'm sure are just still braiding Gwendolyn's hair.
The braiding hasn't stopped, there's only more.
They're braiding the braids now. Putting up in the little buns. I'm glad to see that you at least found some friends here, Micah. They seem to be good people.
Just eats a spoonful of soup.
No comment.
Slight roll of the eyes. Wasn't a no.
Yeah.
They're gonna pull their teeth to say yes.
And I can make those disappear at will. I definitely want to help you though, Micah. This Dr. Ooze that I heard you speaking of quickly, your friends. I definitely want to help you figure out what's going on. I do have some knowledge because I was studying how to get back to the mainland for years before the well before the barrier fell. Perhaps I might be able to assist you over there.
What are... Oh, you're studying, but exactly what are your skills? What was your occupation and such, aside from training at the temple?
Well, the training at the temple was less an occupation. I just happened to be friends with Stormwolf. Hence why I fell out of the tree, and he did not. I'm actually a scholar.
Of what kind?
History and artifacts. I couldn't help but notice your friend's hammer is the hammer of heroes from Unity?
Ah, yes. Interesting, isn't it?
Yes,
So casually.
to have one of the legendary artifacts of our very country just randomly on his hip. Is he an ancestor? I mean, I do know the original hero was an orc.
Yes, actually.
There seems to be quite a lot of coincidences going on in this island with that. It seems maybe the gods are getting people together to try to stop whatever's occurring.
If that's so, why haven't they said anything?
Well, to be honest, the gods have a very difficult time penetrating the veil between their reality and ours. Think of it like this. The reason the gods have to use, well, let's say, champions and such to take care of their scenarios rather than doing themselves is... Let's put it this way, Micah. You know of an anthill, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Imagine you were the god of that anthill, but you needed to save a single ant. But, unfortunately, even by tipping your little finger in there, you would collapse the anthill, killing thousands, if not millions, of the ants. Just by your mere presence of size and spectacularness. That's how the gods are. Their very presence on our field of existence would probably sink a continent. And I just mean the fingertip.
Oh, so very useful.
Well, they're observers, not masters. So, that's why they need the mortals to sort it out themselves. They can enhance us and advise us, and we are supposed to listen and move forward. At least so the theory goes.
And apparently they've disappeared.
Well,
Gone silent.
that is disturbing. I'm wondering whatever this Dr. Ooze is doing is messing with the dimensional rift between our connections and that of our gods.
Oh, surely he's part of it. Whatever this perfection it is he's looking
He got a stutters when you said perfection?
Yeah, he goes on about saying something of, he wishes to create the perfect being.
That's...
Hence the many experiments and, quite frankly, violence he encountered.
that...
He's experimented on himself as well.
that is terrifying. Also, should be more or less considered a physical impossibility. Perfection's a concept, not a reality.
Did something come to mind?
Well, nothing solid, just ancient rumors I remember hearing in the days of past. It just... Some of the histories mention something about when Unity was separated, it was to lock something away.
Mm-hmm.
Something so dangerous that its very existence of what it is has been locked away. The memory of it, even. possible he might be looking to that. If that's his goal.
Was that thing considered perfection?
Honestly, no one knows. It was just something so dangerous that no one can remember anything about it. To be honest, the only reason I know about it is I found researches on the mainland about this thing, not even here in Unity. There's apparently some book or something related to it, some historian found millennia ago. But it was lost in history. Nobody knows what happened to it. So, Zaki, just to remind you, that's the book Gwendolyn's entire tribe was protecting.
Yeah, like literally, Micah was gonna get up and be like, here. And we'll go to sit back down with the others. Because they're just like, I don't know this shit. But two people who might. History, not my forte.
Well, I'm just kind of looks over. Was it something I said?
No. The others may be able to help you here. Gwendolyn, Jericho, and where is Canyon? Mayhaps even Larimore.
And
since is
she
here.
waves. She's been here. I assume they came back from their talk a while ago.
Everyone's having their soup.
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 So,
Oh,
Father Dearest and I were chatting about the situation with Dr. Ooze. Maybe a possibility that you might be able to help in the situation, and we'll nod to Lom to just kind of give the rundown.
He'll quickly kind of just go over what he just told Micah.
So, again, just talking about how Ooze wants to achieve perfection. It reminded Papa about a book rumored about keeping something in, something so deadly that had to be locked away, even the memory of it, etc.
Yeah.
Talking about how the gods are in silence, and Micah will also mention if something's been locked away and we have gates happening, connecting worlds. Well, that sounds like. But this book, was it? Are any of you aware of it?
I am. Yes, that was the book that my village was protecting.
right. Yeah, that one.
The book that you don't come to.
Didn't catch half of that.
Oh, sorry. The book that you don't currently have, correct?
Correct.
Was Micah there with the whole, like, would they know that sister has it, or whoever has it?
Well, I mean, you were there during the whole, dream sequencing, right?
Mhm.
So you were where Ooze got a hold of it, and the sister's the one that got it to him.
Okay.
Who has it in their possession now? Could be the sister, could be Ooze. You really wouldn't be able to tell until you find it.
Okay. Well, this is wonderful news. Powerful book is in crazy hands.
Yes, that would be disturbing.
What exactly was in this book? Again, please remind me.
Well, I mean, obviously I don't know the exact details, but from what I was able to glean from the histories of the papers, one was able to get a glimpse of, it told of a way to open a door. A door or key or... It's very esoteric. From what I read, it's less of opening a door, but more of awakening the sleeper? Something of that terminology?
Asleep.
It's very complex. I mean, the other thing is you can't take anything like that too literal, because there's the off chance that they were being, well, you know, esoteric and such about it. You know, literary devices and such. Some historians aren't very good at that sort of thing, so they make up words that just sound good versus actually what it really means. Especially when religion is involved.
Yes. Gwendolyn, do you have any extra information possible to this?
What was that, sorry? Gwendolyn, do you...
Oh, Gwendolyn, do you know of anything that could possibly add to this?
Does she, DM?
I mean, you never actually read the book, because it was forbidden of your village to read the book.
Yeah.
But...
That and she
Like,
lost her
for the
memories.
story?
Yeah, that and you lost all your memories, so that's gonna help a lot.
Oh.
It's like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little outside your wheelhouse based off everything.
And I suppose there wouldn't be anything about that book anywhere on Unity because it was from the mainland.
Well, technically it's from both. That book predates when Unity split.
Fair.
But...
Oh. Yeah, would there have been anything that she might have researched at all?
I will allow a history check.
I'm terrible at those.
No.
I'll do that. Maybe it'll help.
I'm pretty sure you have to be...
Oh, I do have to be
Yeah,
proficient.
you gotta be
You're
proficient,
correct.
yeah.
You're correct. You're correct.
Okay,
Correct.
We do also have other people that Micah did address that do have history proficiency. If they could
There's-
help.
But would they have looked up anything about the book as the...
Yeah, I mean, it's like whether or not they actually would have any realistic reason they would have found this obscure legend of lore that most people don't know exist. Like, the reason the
But you
father
would think-
Lom knows about is he was looking for ways to get back to his land, and this thing kind of was part of it, right?
Don't underestimate an artist with ADHD.
Sure, Jericho, I'll allow a history check. Maybe your mom had some really weird histories. Nope.
Damn it.
Not enough still. Huh?
I was really banking on that nat 20. For
You
the
really
name.
needed a nat 20. Like, we're talking obscurely. Like, I'm talking you need at least a 25 to even heard of it. Right? Like, that's how obscure this is. But again, I will say, you know what? I'll make Lyamora roll, because she actually would have a chance due to the fact this is related to her family history. Now that she has a great history, but let's see if she can get that nat 20. Nope. You got no clue.
No.
Okay, but I will say with the 21 though, Jericho, because that's a good roll. I'll give you some conjecture stuff you can work with. Based off of the book, based off that there's a creature in, and based off your family history that you guys learned in the Underdark, there's something about connecting of souls in this. Because remember, that's what that guild was about. Was somehow grabbing souls and combining. That's why the souls were separate, and that's what your family. That's why you are connected to souls, right? There was something about the cult that was obsessed with souls and stuff, if that's connected to this book and this being, there's something about these souls and this being that would connect. You're not sure how or why, but it's something along those lines is what you're gathering. If you guys can come up with conjecture based off those hints, that's up to you. But
Well, sorry,
Oh.
one more time with the hint, because
sorry.
you lost me a little bit there.
okay, so you know for a fact that your family was connected to that book as well.
Yes.
And the thing about that book is it's something to do with connecting souls together. That's why Canyon's key is able to take pieces of souls and make their echoes. That's why souls are attracted to you and you are able to use them to bind with you.
Mhm.
And that's why Lyamora has a connection to the dead with her magic as well.
Mm-hmm.
Right? There is something about that seems to be connecting souls is a key.
And this is pertaining to, sorry.
To whatever the creature that is locked away or mentioned in this book might have something to do with that soul connection stuff.
Reminds me of liches, but I'm not sure if it's more complicated than that.
Well, liches aren't really connecting of souls. Liches are separating one's body from one's soul so they can live forever.
Yeah.
This is more like it's almost like consuming a soul but making it part of you.
Stares at Vlaakith. That fuckwit. Interesting. Consuming a soul and making it part of you. And I know it was Micah and Lom who had this, or we were talking about this?
Yeah, because
Or is it-
Lom was able to find some of the history of this when he was researching a way to get back. Right? Like, he was a historian, and this is the stuff he figured out when he was in the mainland.
Okay. Yeah, sorry, I'd step away a little bit, so I kind of missed a bit of the conversation.
No, that's fine, that's fine.
A-okay.
Okay, yeah, but I guess if anything, Jericho would kind of share like the little bits that he knows. Probably also feeling bad. It's like with everything that's been happening lately, I haven't exactly had time to do the lore part of being a bard. He's gonna hit the books at his earliest convenience.
I would think that is a good idea to do some research. I know for sure I'm going to be doing it as well when I'm in the mainland.
I'll assist you, of course.
Yes, thank you. Was there anything else in your research that you found odd? And we'll be looking at Lom.
Well, I mean, odd, I suppose, is relative. But it was just dangerous, I suppose might be a better disturbing feeling. Like, this secret was kept for a reason. And I mean, the simple fact that the gods separated an entire continent to keep it secret would indicate that whatever this is beyond dangerous. And any madman who wants to bring it about must be, well...
Mad.
Yeah. Beyond crazy. Basically flirting with could be the end of the world, I would gather.
Well, even the devil underneath has been praising him. So, yes, he is that low.
Oh, goody. This gets better.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in any case, I think that should more or less just solidify the fact that, we should do whatever we can to figure out what he's after and stop it at all costs.
The book is the key, then.
It would appear so. You said that your friend there is from the village that had it, correct?
Yes, which has been irrelevant.
Well, if we can find the book, that might give us a clue. Sounds like it's most likely somewhere on the mainland at the moment. Or somewhere here, I should say, at the moment, in unity with this Dr. Uzi fellow.
Mhm.
So, two parties. We can look for clues back on the mainland for any sort of hints. Perhaps there's information we gather there, and if you find the book, perhaps you'll be able to use it to figure out the last details we need. And perhaps to find a way to stop it as well.
Not that I think will be much successful, but ways of stopping the gates, finding the book, as well as finding out how the sealing was done, I think would be of our interest while we are away. And as for over here, actually tracking down where the book is, yes, that would be.
Sort of key.
The key. And as I had mentioned to Gwendolyn, and we'll look at Canyon and just the others who are just kind of keeping it into the conversation, I made an arrangement with Shuffles. I'll send her your way, see if she can find you anything. Are we all in agreement?
Right. Do you want me to start, I don't know, a periodical check-ins? It's not like we can exactly have full conferences or any... Hmm. There may be spells that I could look into that would allow for that. From a fair.
Periodical check-ins would be good, considering the hijinks that you lot tend to find yourselves in, including myself. I would like to make sure that you are alive, first of all. And of course, if I find anything, I will relay that to you. And if not through me, someone else who can also do the sending spell.
Well, we are about to hit a Wizardly College. I'm sure we can figure something out.
Sure.
Tally ho and all that. Just gotta stop the end of the world. What fun!
He said tally ho.
Just another day at the office for us then.
Just another Sunday, yes.
When do you plan to depart?
Well, at this point, I think first thing in the morning would be best. Probably not best to sit on, this sort of thing.
Ewick just nods solemnly. Makes sense.
Well, if I'm going to get a restful sleep. Canyon? Hello.
What?
You. Yes. Doesn't
She
elaborate.
points at herself. Huh?
Well, are you making these bubbles or what?
It should be... Sure. He swallows what he was going to say, and he will go ahead and make a bubble.
So you're not allowed to leave the...
What?
No, I am not.
I just missed that. What did she say?
She's confused.
She's dazed and confused.
She's
It
got
was
the
super
right
effective.
spirit.
I'm also confused. I like my Wi-Fi lagged a little bit during that conversation. So
No, it's okay. Basically, Micah is saying you're gonna be my pillow, and you have no say.
oh. Oh, her face goes much better then.
It was supposed to be confusing. Don't worry.
Just grab him by the hand. Don't worry about it. Just follow my lead.
Just follow my lead.
You do realize we are
questions.
sharing bubbles, correct? I mean, we...
Well, do you want to share? He smiles at her.
Well, I suppose it's either me or Jericho, and there's probably four as a crowd if Uvek's in that mess as well. Very well.
Are we still talking about sleeping arrangements?
Yeah, I think they are.
Okay.
I think so. I don't know anymore.
Well, I'm just gonna walk up to you, Jericho's like, I'm going to sleep with you. I don't want to be part of
Hey, what?
that.
Meanwhile,
Nothing.
poor Estrees is down in the forest, all by the lonesome.
Just hear an explosion in the background. Forest catches fire.
Actually,
This is where we end the campaign.
Light a bomb if you need help.
Okay.
Uvek's gonna just say, I'm allowed to enter and exit the dome whenever I want, right?
As long as I
After a
stay
long
inside.
pause.
Okay. I'm just gonna quickly clean up from dinner and then I'll be in the dome in a bit, alright?
Hmm.
And Uvek will give Jericho a peck on the head.
Actually, I think I'm gonna help. Wait, I have to like focus and do the. Do I have another third level?
It's a ritual spell, cousin!
I knew that.
If you're that eager, go have your fun. Just come back in time.
Just like, I'm loving that. It's just like, I knew that. It's the wizard. It's the wizard. It's always the wizard speaking down to the other class.
It's such a good. I must say, like, granted, it's like Leah's technically, you know, she's only been around for like a little bit, but like, I kind of for the rest of any campaign, as long as I play D&D 5e, I need to like insert other spellcaster and a wizard together at all times. Actually, it's so funny. It's so funny.
At least she's not a sorcerer. That'd be even worse. Oh, you need to cast spells by strumming the guitar. That's very fascinating. I can do it by just sticking my hand out like this.
I feel like all main spellcasters have like just like the tiniest bit of beef.
Oh yeah,
Others.
no.
Oh no, sure, for sure. Especially the arcane ones. The religious ones, like paladins and clerics, buddies for life. But
Unless they're on the
Actually,
opposite
just like-
sides of the...
Listen, as long as you live under Mistra's order, then we're fine here. But do anything beyond that, we're gonna have issues here, bud. All right.
well, in any case, you guys get your sleeping arrangements set up. What happens at that night, I will leave to people's imaginations.
I'm simply going to. Not to like. Granted, this has probably happened once or a couple other times, but I'm also kind of tired of Jericho pretending like he doesn't have a hot boyfriend. I will not elaborate.
Uvek tugs on his collar. Yeah.
You, me, now.
One of you is getting pregnant tonight.
And it's not gonna be me.
No, he's looking at his own collar. As we all know, Jericho is Jericho's the top in this situation.
This is true. He has the capacity.
Yeah.
He's here to please.
Well, in any case, we move on.
I am curious what if Micah literally just grabs Canyon and has her be their pillow, or
Yeah, basically just like lays her down, booba pillow, rests weary head on the bosom. They've had a long day.
after a while, Canyon will like cautiously reach out and start like petting their hair.
Freshly braided hair.
Which they can
Overly braided
which
hair.
they can go bald at any second. So.
You can easily undo the braids and redo them just by growing out the
Micah
hair.
just like feeling how messy they are and just like reshaping the braids.
Yeah, I
to
know.
be
It's like I said, I was about to say, I think they're actually able to grow their hair pre-braided.
Yeah, I was
Probably.
about to ask that. Can they do that?
But can they put in the hand grease that's in there now?
No, that's beyond them, I'll admit. Just,
Listen, did y'all wash your hands? Uvek probably did, but he also was the one person not braiding the hair.
Prestidigitation, love. Prestidigitation.
Anybody need their hair braided? Uvek just covered in tomatoes.
I feel like free red hair dye. I feel like every person. I'm gonna do this for my next character. I'm gonna have someone who doesn't even have innate spellcasting. They just learned prestidigitation. That's the only spell that they learned. It's so useful.
First, they went into the first day of class and they learned the most basic spell, and then like, nope, can't do it. Gonna leave.
to be fair,
This is all I needed.
prestidigitation does have its limits. I do remember I had a campaign where the party was put in a jail cell and they had their poop bucket. And like, oh, prestidigitate the poop. Well, it's sterilized poop, but it's still poop.
It's
Right?
only a matter of time before the flies return.
Yeah, like it doesn't get rid of solid waste. Otherwise, you could prestidigitate a person away.
Mhm.
As we all know, that it's used for a weapon instead.
Yeah.
For the gods.
That's what Thanos did. He just learned mass prestidigitation.
That's presti-
Nah.
I need that to be a spell. Nah.
In any case, you guys have your night. If there's any other RP you guys wish to do, feel free. Otherwise, I will move it on to the morning.
When Uvek did say he was going to clean up for dinner, he completely lied to everybody's face, and he feels guilty about that.
Wow, no
And he's gonna-
surprise at all.
And he's going to instead spend like an hour baking stuff. And I will elaborate further later.
I like he's baking it with a campfire. That is gotta be one of the hardest things you could possibly do.
Listen, I got a Dutch oven, it'll be fine.
Oh, Dutch oven, eh? Just lucky Jericho.
That's not what I meant. And you damn well know it.
The joke is lost on me.
A Dutch oven is when you take someone's head and fart under the blankets.
Oh.
It is also a very useful cooking utensil for cooking over a campfire.
Yeah.
Understood.
So it's a double meaning word.
Awful.
You know, Uvek's trying to do something very nice, and Heath is just making it seem so much worse. Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
That's what a DM is for, to make players' lives miserable.
I do appreciate the dad joke, though. Good job.
Any case.
As a player, I'm disappointed. As a dad joke enthusiast, I approve.
So, anybody else? Let me go easy.
Easy.
Going once,
I'm good.
going twice, and
Cold.
we are moving into the morning. Okay. Jesus, sorry, I just walked in my kitchen and saw how many carrots my parents left behind.
Feast.
Oh, like, by the way, Zachy, as soon as I got home, I've been eating nothing but giant plates of vegetable sides. I feel so much
been
better.
lacking nutrients since he got here.
The closest thing we had to a vegetable was diced green onions in a hamburger patty.
Okay, so to be fair, today, actually
That's-
technically yesterday, I made a tomato-based stew with chicken, the leftover tofu, the tomato, some red bell pepper.
You know what? That would have been nice if I was there, Zaku. But
Yeah. To be fair, I was gonna cook it, but plans changed. And
Sandwich.
We ended up eating the sandwich.
I'm just teasing.
We are very much lacking in the vegetable department. I'm working on it.
Also, can I just say, munching on diced green onions and what hamburger buns is what you said? That's so peak. That's so peak, like, ingredients household.
It wasn't a hamburger bun. It was just hamburger with green onions in the burnt patty, and we basically made basically what we would consider Asian hamburgers. Like, they were just dumplings, but really just a hamburger with a rice patty wrapped around it.
Yeah, we found a recipe that was making like ground beef dumplings using rice paper, but because we made them so big, they were basically just like Asian burgers. They were good though.
They were good. I'm not denying that. But I could have used more vegetables. Any case, besides the point. Back to it. So, morning day comes. As you guys awaken in the morning, your little domes disappear. You guys go over and see that Micah is like lied across Canyon's bosom. I don't know how they added Liamora into the mix, whether they're using their legs as like the other part of their blanket, or they put Liamora over top of them like a blanket.
Listen,
I think they're laying on top of Liamora. She, you know?
Yeah.
It's just a sandwich. I mean, like 2 boobs, you know, and 2 heads.
Well, you see, no, that's it. So what we have is,
boobs.
well, yeah. So what we have here is Micah puts one head, like boobs on that one head, and then rests the boobs on the feet on the other, and you kind of get that L-shaped couch position, the V-shaped couch position.
This
Excellent.
is too much trigonometry for my tiny brain, but sure.
Any case, back into it. You guys are ready for the morning. Looking about, you have begun your thing as you guys stretch and open in the morning. Liamora looks over at all of you. Well, I think we've all had a rather good rest, and I think it's about time we say our goodbyes for final this time. We'll need to get going. And she pulls out a piece of chalk.
Micah will just kind of stand back and walk a little bit into an opening, sighs, and slowly opens their arms, bracing for impact.
Let's go.
Uvek's gonna push Canyon first.
Let's go.
Bracing for impact!
Canyon runs over and scoops them up.
Yes. I'll miss you too, Canyon.
Jericho will hug everyone, and I mean everyone that is within his vicinity.
Just hug Lom, and Lom's just like, okay, I don't know you, but pat.
Uvek will give
I like to
Micah.
think that he intended to grab Micah, and that's who he ended up grabbing.
Uvek will hug Micah, but he does know that Micah has a slight aversion to it, so he is going to be respectful and just a nice simple pat on the back and hug, and that's it. And he's like, "Oh, before you do go, though," and Uvek is going to fuddle in his bag, and he's going to produce I don't really know what they're called. I guess a flannel pouch, I guess. And he is going to hand it to both Micah first. And says, a little snack along the road. You know, want to make sure you're still got a taste of home before you leave.
Thank
And
you.
inside it's just a nice big loaf of bread that kind of smells like apple and cinnamon.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's basically just a oversized apple cinnamon muffin, but kind of a little bit crunchy on the outside.
Uvek gets another little pat on their cheek, on his cheek. Thank you, dear.
Of course. I am gonna miss you though. All right, and
Oh,
Just,
I'll be back.
I would say keep your nose clean, but I don't think that's gonna happen in a lifetime, is it?
You just smirk.
Decent. Well then, cause as much hectic and chaos as you can then.
Of course.
And Urek's gonna hand one over towards Micah's dad and say, I know we only just met, but figured you also like to eat for on occasion, so
I do appreciate that. Thank you, Uvek.
yeah. Sorry that we didn't really get to know each other too often, so. But
Well, God's willing, we'll meet again and be able to get to know each other better then. Hopefully when the world's not about to possibly come to an end.
if you guys stop by Daggerford, though, can you can you stop by the Woods Rowan and tell my mom that I'm still doing okay. She's the head up there. You'll just ask for the owner. They'll find her.
No kidding. Should we mention that you're in a relationship?
And that you
No, I'm
told
gonna
me
get.
you're married.
Do I have? She'd kill me if I didn't say it. But she'd
All the
kill me
more
if I
reason.
didn't tell her faster. So.
Ooh.
Can I get back to you on that one?
Yeah, sure. Shoot me a sending spell when you're ready to let me know if you want me to tell your mother that you're in a relationship with my cousin.
Yeah. I'll think about it. And Uvek will also give another pouch to Leamora as well. I'll be honest, I'm not that familiar with elven cooking, baking, but I did have a old recipe card for elven bread, so.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Well, if nothing else, it's a bit more rustic than it is traditional, so we'll call it evens.
Fair enough.
Stay safe, all right?
Indeed. I will do my best. Any case, the circle's drawn and ready to go. When you are ready, Micah and Lum, we can head off and leave these people to go exploring for a book.
Micah turns their head over to Gwendolyn. Waiting.
She'll make her way over. Here, I got you a gift. And she'll pull out a kind of small knife. Attached to it is like a raven feather, kind of adorned in small little skulls. Kind of witch vibe looking. You probably have your own daggers and such, but I figured it'd be a nice gift. Just for, eating utensils or whatever else you want to do with a knife of that nature.
Eating utensils, chopping up some herbs, slitting a man's throat. Yes, I'll find that.
Stabbing a bitch.
Stabbing a bitch.
Sure, if you want to use it for that. I figured it's rather small, but by all means.
Perfect for halflings.
I'm sure you do.
Thank you.
Sure.
This is beautiful.
She'll pause for a moment and then lean in to give a hug.
Gives her a very soft hug, and then we'll look for Hemlock.
Hemlock peeks out from like under the hat. You're not gonna leave us for so long, are you?
Oh dear, you know I can't leave for too long. I know you'll probably explode or something if I'm gone for
I
much
will.
longer than even a month.
I just realized something funny as you say that. Lom just looks and tilts his head. Huh? A talking bird. Since Hemlock was
yes.
killed before he met him.
Father meet father.
Hello.
Hello. Looks over at looks at Gwendolyn, looks at you. Don't take this a rude way, but I don't really see the family resemblance.
It's the feathers. See? Kind of points towards her. The feathers coming out of like her arm.
Ah, I actually just figured she was part Arakaka or Kenku.
No, complicated story. Anyways, Micah, take care of yourself, will you?
I will. And you too as well. Try not to get bent too much, alright? And we'll give him a little boop on the beak.
I
Boopity.
will try not to.
Alright.
It's gonna walk over.
We'll look over at Canyon.
She fiddles for a moment.
You're really quiet,
I
by the
don't-
way.
I don't. Am I still quiet?
There you are.
I love my headphones. They're always wonderful.
There is so good.
She unties like one of her braids. It's like I don't really have something like cool to give you as a goodbye, but she hands you one of her scrunchies. In case you need to tie your hair back when you're like slashing people's throats and stuff.
Micah opens her mouth, closes it. There's a small grin that clearly shows that they are refraining from making a certain joke. Slashing people's throats. And we'll use a scrunchie and tie their hair up now.
She beams.
Based off what you
Does it
said,
suit
that
me?
almost seems like a threat.
You know, tying hair back for assassination and nothing nefarious, nothing at all.
But
Does it look
can
good on me?
it does. Oh, you look good in everything.
Yes, I do. And just a little hair flip with the ponytail. Oh,
Canyon will wrap them in a hug.
I will give her a hug back.
Aw.
A very gentle squeeze, and with every person, just
Just one last thing.
Hmm.
Canyon will look down at Micah and will give a small smooch on the lips. And then immediately go very red.
Jericho.
And Micah will blink in surprise and smile.
Be safe,
Oh, there
okay?
are many. I will. I'll be safe, so I can do more later. I'll leave it at that.
Just look over, see Lamar's tapping her foot with her arms crossed at this point.
Hold on, and just go make the round, give everyone all of the cheek smooch, and then finally start to wave them off.
Not
I'll be back.
finally.
What is it
Jericho has
doing?
been holding in this entire time.
Mhm.
His only reprieve of using that 20 charisma to keep himself cool and collected was temporarily broken by that kiss in which he basically did this. Jericho just he approaches Micah and hugs them. And he pulls himself away, and he's already got tiny little baby tears in his eyes. Makes them twinkle a little bit. But he reaches up and pushes him away with one hand, and he puts a hand on Micah's shoulder and just says, "After everything we've been through, I am incredibly proud of you, and I cannot wait for us to meet again. And to assure this, because despite being oh so self-sufficient, anything and everything can happen from one adventurer to another, I would like to bestow upon you a gift. One of the many gifts my father had given me, well, from my mother. Something to help keep you warm during the cold and dust-free during the sand. And the entire time he's saying this, he's using his arms underneath his cloak to begin to unfurl it and bunch it up. And he eventually has his hands around his neck and he pushes it up in this nice big blue patchy donut. And he, in his studded leather armor, now revealed, so to speak, I agree with what was said. I technically won't be needing this more with the battles to come and everything. I need all of the better gear. This thing was technically always a hand-me-down to begin with, but it's come to be something that reminded me of him, even though I never really knew him in the way that I wanted to. But you know me in the way that I want you to. And for as long as you're away, I want you to be able to have a physical reminder of myself and all of these little patches, those that are along with me. All of us. We love you, Micah. I love you. And you all are going to do great out there. And he turns with his hand on Micah's shoulder towards Leah and Loam. Or Leia and Loam. He smiles at them. Bright, pearly whites.
Micah will very gently take hold of the poncho, right?
Yeah.
Just take it, hold it up to their shoulders a bit. Well, it is like Kenyon said. I do make anything look good.
Mm-hmm.
But I will keep this and will very gently fold it in a way of care. Very neatly put into the pack along with.
Wait, before you do, Put it on really quickly. I need to see it on you.
Unfolds it. Puts it on.
Leah's gonna kill someone.
Leah's gonna kill someone.
Just see like a little
And
fireball starting to grow on her fingertip.
There's a little twirl. Happy now?
Incredibly. Oh, and just so you know, it gets blood on it all of the time. Your own, my own, everyone's. It'll be
Yes, I'm very.
right. You all have places to be.
Worlds to save and all that.
Mhm.
Well, if you're
Behave
all...
yourselves, stay alive, and do keep in contact, alright?
Mhm.
Michael
Count
will
on
walk
me.
over. Alright, Lyramura. Thank you for your patience. I am ready to leave now.
Okay. Well, off we head. Goodbye, everyone. We'll see you again soon. Hopefully. But not too soon. And with that, she finishes the teleportation circle, opening up a thing where she steps through, Lom steps through, and Micah.
Micah will blow a kiss at everyone, and then just sashay away into the circle.
Before you transition, Heath,
Okay, waiting.
immediately Jericho sends a sending spell out to them.
Oh my god.
And his words are as follows. Like after like a solid 6 seconds passes, he's just okay. Immediately, he takes out the little reed, flicks it, causes it to glow, and he begins to speak in the way that it spikes. And he's just like, "Hello, Micah. I hope that everything is okay. Wait, hold on. Hello, Micah. I hope everything is okay over there. I just know that teleportation is unruly and can go amiss. Hope you're okay. Love, Jericho." I counted.
Just quickly hears back. Goodbye.
Yeah. Very much mom running out. It's take a jacket, it's cold. It's like, Mom, it's fine.
Mama's fine.
And Micah, as you go through the teleportation circle, you would find yourself in the center of a magic college school where a teleportation circle is awaiting for you. But
Micah will take off the poncho because they are not going to be caught wearing some ratty ass poncho, but they will fold it again, lovingly, carefully, and place in their bag along with the knife.
good call. In any case, we better get the research. Did that idiot call you? You had like a weird look on your face again.
Yes, about 6 seconds after.
Of course he did. Well, we best get to the research then. If we don't do it, they'll probably never find anything.
Sounds about right.
Okay.
Come.
And with that, Lom and Lyamora and Micah wander off to the college to do research.
Research, baby, research. Woo!
Meanwhile, the rest of you gather yourselves together and prepare marching forward. Where are you guys heading? I'll put you back on the world map so you can see where you are at least.
We were headed to one other place prior, I could have sworn. I forgot.
Technically, no.
No?
You have no location in mind, though you were thinking of heading back to the capital for, obvious reasons.
Because we're at where again?
You're down here all the way by the Temple of the Changing Beast.
Alright, okay. Honestly, I know they're doing their research. Gosh. Part of me
wants to continue looking around in places that we might be able to. Because, gosh, we've been in a couple places so far. Dr. Nomenstein's Estates, Summer Spring Village, Head Church of Unity, Salmon Bay. There's a couple places we haven't quite been able to. Actually, no, I think we've been through most of these places except for maybe like.
So
what?
as far as the south border goes, the only places you haven't hit are the Enchanted Forest.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, that is it. That is the only thing you missed in the south.
Wow. Okay.
Other than that, you've hit Grey Ranges. You were quickly at the Bearded Peaks. You Spring Village you hit. Church you hit. Mithril Mines you hit. Lodrone, that's where you met. Yeah. The only place you haven't gone to is the Enchanted Forest on the southern half of the map. Northern half you've missed a lot, but the northern half I mean...
Yeah.
To be fair,
Okay.
I didn't have the most of the northern half planned out.
That's fair. I think. I don't know. Jericho the Lore Bard is kind of like, dang. I wish I was there being able to help them research, but at the same time, like I know that I can't leave them here. Boyfriend and best friends included. You can't just leave them there. But
I mean,
also,
you guys could still
I
do
mean,
research.
if you guys are heading to the capital like originally planned, Head
Yeah.
Church of Unity would be the way to get back to the train.
yeah, I'm thinking, and because the train shortens the distance by quite a bit, doesn't it?
It basically makes it a day trip as opposed to a month trip.
Yeah, because I was thinking, remind me because I'm blanking out, but the Sky Keep is also really good when it comes to information, correct?
That is literally the Magic College of Unity.
Fucking excellent. But isn't that... Remind me, did they go back to the mainland? Or did they go to...
Yes,
there?
they went
Okay.
to the mainland.
Okay, then fuck it. I say, let's research mamas, you know? They have the mainland, we've got Unity. We can kind of cross-reference things, more or less. Well, not cross-reference, but you get what I mean.
Mhm.
Different forms of research in an effort to get a more unbiased view on things in between both very different countries.
Indy? So you guys are gonna head to Head Church of Unity.
Mm-hmm.
Is everybody cool with that?
Sounds like a good plan.
Okay. Crack fingers. Okay, so you guys begin your journey to the Head Church of Unity. Several days pass. You have no issues because you guys are level 11. Oh, by the way, I've already leveled up after killing Grandpa. I did forget to mention that at the end of last week. You guys are level 11.
Oh!
Oh.
Oh, Andy dropped.
Andy dropped.
Oh no, we lost Andy. Everybody's
sorry,
level
I
11
thought was-
except Andy, apparently.
Damn. Fuck that guy in particular.
Well, bad news for Jericho.
Well, we'll wait for Andy to get back here in a
He's already
sec, because
Oh,
I'm.
yeah.
I guess while we're waiting for Andy, anyone who wants to level up their character sheets.
I am already on it.
I'm
Do I gain
trying
anything?
to-
I feel like we just leveled up.
You kind of did, but Grandpa was worth was another level up. Again,
End
we're in
of
the
the
end
day,
game,
then.
Lion. You're gonna finish at level 12 probably, if not 13.
New in-game, old rolling for health. Let's go, baby. 7.
Hey,
Plus
rolled a
one.
7.
Nice.
I think that's the first time I like.
I rolled above the 5.
Yes. Oh no.
Maximum value. No.
Yeah, there we go.
I think that's all I needed to do. Yeah, that's all I needed to do. I love fighters.
Is a level 11 fighter? Yeah, probably. You might have got some bonuses that would have been auto-added to your sheet, though.
Wait.
I shall look.
Ooh, I have access to 6th level now.
That's, you can't... Oh, Andy's back.
Hey, how's
Andy
it
back.
going?
I was just letting everybody
I get
know
another
you're...
extra attack.
Yeah, your level 3 attacks at level 11. And Andy, I was just letting everybody know after King Grandpa, you guys all technically got to level 11.
Combat just
I
got really
heard. I'm very
crazy.
happy I can now cast level 3 spells.
Combat just got way crazier.
You have refined your chosen skill until they
I'm
approach.
gonna whack him 3 times.
I like how you're leveling up, Zachy. By the time you get back, you'll be a higher level.
Yeah, well, you know.
I
might as
know,
well
I know.
start.
So you are planning on coming back for like?
The finale. They
bit?
want to be back for the
For the
finale at the
finale.
very least.
Whoa!
So don't worry, Zachy will be here for at least one more
Wahoo.
game.
Yeah, that's
Unless he
why
changes
Micah
his
said
mind, he's always allowed to come back when he feels like it, but he definitely wanted to be back for at least the finale.
Yeah.
Whoa!
'Cause
We're gonna have. We gotta have our. We gotta have a rogue for the final battle.
You know,
We gotta have our joint marriage of Jericho and Uvek and Micah and Canyon.
So that's wonderful and all. I do think Jericho would rather die than share his special day with someone else.
He's the Godzilla bride. Let's be real.
Godzilla.
Jericho, I
So-
thought this was a day about us. No, it's a day about
So anyways,
me.
don't worry about stop leveling up, but I do want to get the last setup here. So, as you guys continue moving forward, several days pass. There will be no encounters. You guys are far too powerful for random encounters to mean jack shit at this point. As you guys move along, several days pass. You're starting to feel sad that Mike is not about, but you're feeling like,
Starting.
yeah, okay.
Sorry.
But things go on, and you make your way towards the church. You get about a day out from the church, and things look good. But suddenly, something seems odd. One moment. You look over, and up in the sky, storm clouds seem to start forming out of nowhere. You look about you as lightning starts crackling through the air. Vicious winds move about. And all about you, you start seeing what looks to be what tears in the sky of great purple rifts forming about. At a quick glance, you look into some of these glyphs, these rifts. You see visions of various natures and area. You see a glimpse of what looks to be a place that looks to be the Feywild. A place that looks like burning infernos. Places that look to be vast areas. You feel the very earth under your feet begin to shake. And all about you, a massive dome starts to appear over the entirety of the continent, covering all the thing and blocking out the sun. All things seem going terrible, as it seems that the rifts that have been forming in this world are tearing open in full now. And whatever Dr. Ooze has been planning seems to be entering its final stages. As now, the entirety of Unity is being torn apart from all other realities. As you guys look about yourselves, you realize in terror what is happening. To be fair, and now I will ask this question because I'm sure one of you will. What does any of you instantly react by trying to do a sending spell to Micah?
Anyone?
Anyone?
I don't know.
As I know it's you, Jericho, but I figured I'd ask.
Yeah, just in the panic of everything, you know? Just go zap.
As you cast the spell, Jericho, something odd happens. You send the message, and you hear the message in your own head. As a feeling comes about that it seems that the message bounced off the dome and reflected back at you. You seem to be cut off from all of realities at this point, as Unity seems to be once again entering the place of the dimension where it is sealed off from all of existence apart from those rifts.
Jericho would just, after hearing his own voice bounce in his head a couple times, he just says, kind of arms slack, "We're not in the plains anymore."
What?
He just remains silent.
Uvek's gonna look to his hammer. Does he still have his paladin abilities? Like he'll cast like light on his hammer to see if
Your
the twins are still.
abilities still seem to be working.
They're still here.
I mean, kind of, with the occasion, he literally whips out his rapier, and imagining that they were just either in town or anything of the sort, he just takes the rapier to the dirt flooring nearby, and he just immediately, as if from memory, proceeds to write out a basic diagram of the Great Wheel cosmology. Every single one of these circles, all of them, different realms, different planes. This doesn't feel like a pocket. I guess it would be considered one, but not in the true sense. This isn't a rope trick or a bag of holding. Or perhaps that's exactly what it is, but on such a greater scale. This is something that only, and correct me if I'm wrong, Keith, only gods can really do.
Actually, it's worse than that. It might be beyond even things gods should be capable of.
I think at that realization, he shakes his head as soon as he says the words and just... He just takes, with the, as a basic thing for those of you who don't know what the great cosmology, or wheel cosmology kind of looks like, think of it as a circle, and it has several, what's it called? I forget. It's not a flow chart necessarily, but it kind of is. It's a circle, and along the radius of the circle, there are different lines that connect to different circles, and those circles are connected to other circles. It's basically one big web. Jericho takes his rapier and just dashes a line through all of that, scrambling it, and points an arrow to a completely different area and creates another circle. We're not in that great web of the combination of theorem and spirituality and magic. The spell, sending, that works across the planes with some leeway or margin for error. It shouldn't do what it just did. I heard myself. As if a giant veil of lead, but even lead would just absorb it, I think.
If we're not on the plains, then where the hell are we?
No. It couldn't be. The only realms that aren't accounted for, the ones that are known or theorized to be the origin of aberrations, are the far realms. But it's practically fiction. Nobody really knows where aberrations come from. We just extrapolate it. Everything outside of the elemental planes are more or less hodgepodge that only religious scholars or my happy hours have ever heard of. Does that check out? Are we... Could it possibly be extrapolated upon that we might be somewhere in the far realms, the area in which the Great Wheel of Cosmology falls flat?
It is quite possible. Theoretically speaking, you are outside of the cosmology. That is technically the outside. If you wanted to put it in our world's terminology, you're outside of the universe. You remember the universe expands? Well, what's it expanding into?
He just... I don't want to be a negative Nancy. However,
God.
as fair as everything is concerned, within a plane lies rules, and those rules are to be followed by the plane. The plane is, in a way, a living creature in the way that it self-sustains and corrects itself according to the world's laws. The material plane is the material plane because of everything else that creates it. Everything else dictates its laws. We are no longer a part of that, so, in theory, anything and everything could change at the snap of a butterfly's fingers, and we wouldn't be any the wiser. Nothing is going to make sense from here on out. In other words, of course, given who most likely caused it, whether or not things make sense might just be up to him. So.
So, how do we get back then?
I don't know. Unless... His eyes kind of like dart back and forth as he thinks about things. No, this is a good thing. This is a good thing. Ooze has been discreet, and we've had to seek him out. And half the time, in the attempts that we do seek him out, we often find him when it's too late, or he just escapes, or he moves. He's slippery, in every sense of the word. Now he's making a grandstand, and unless he's really the type to just remove a place from the cradle of creation and do nothing with it, he'll show himself. He'll show himself, and we'll deal with him. Right?
Huh. Got this.
Not sure how we can fix this, but maybe we can
Shove
at
it.
least.
Go ahead.
I'm not sure if we can fix this, but we can certainly stop it and make it from being worse. Sorry, my voice just cracked there. I apologize.
I'm sure we could find a way.
I'm not just worried about here. Unity was always an exception of sorts, you know, it didn't technically exist until a couple of astronomical moments ago. If he figures out something to do with this place, it's only a matter of time before he learns how to do this and, I don't know, sequester the rest of the material plane. We have to stop him. That much, I think, is our first and only step. I guess only after finding him.
We'll find him, Jericho.
Or he'll find us.
Either way, we're gonna stuff him back into wherever the hell he came from. Preferably as a corpse.
Yeah. He still looks scared, but he's a little bit more confident now.
Okay. With that, with the Church of Unity just in sight, you guys gathered about with the possible end of the world before you. You continue away towards the church, and we will pick up there next time. I think that is a good stopping point.